It's like the main riffs in D minor, but then we play this like the major third over top with.
Yeah, you got the harmonies in there.
Oh, you're gonna go straight into the music theory, huh? Right.
Hey, this guy can hang, man.
Dude, I love that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. We had a good time. We did it it took about
Couple hours,
3 hours maybe total.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We had the idea first to like, heavy metal, dun, 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 and then like this really beautiful harmony at the end.
Is it you on drums?
It's just a drum machine.
Okay.
Or
All
just-
right.
Drummer. Yeah.
I was gonna say adding that double kick there at the end.
Yeah, that was my idea, but
It is Mike playing all the guitars though.
Yeah. And we both sang at the end. So. We used to do it live. We used to go da, 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 and all this mess, and then it was like never turning out good because we never actually practiced it. We would just do it here.
So did you wait? So you guys have played in bands together?
Yeah.
Yes.
And is that how you know each other?
Yeah, I guess
actually
so.
it is.
Yeah.
He saw my dad. I used to have these guitar lesson signs, these magnet signs that go on the cars, and he met my dad at 7-Eleven, and started talking about guitar lessons, and then. Isn't that?
I thought Ollie was going to give me the guitar lessons. His dad had the big magnet sign for Michael Waskey music lessons on the side of the car. I was like pumping gas, and I saw this guy pull up, and I had thought about, getting. I was like, I should probably get some lessons, like get a little bit better. So this guy, I flagged him down. I was like, hey man, I see your sticker. Do you give lessons? And he was like, no, it's my son Mike. And Ollie was a very personable, friendly guy. So I ended up standing there talking to him for like 15 minutes.
Wasn't the type of gas station guy where you're just like, I'm not talking to that.
No, not at all. We're on the Eastern Shore, man. So it's most people are friendly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I called Mike, and Mike was like, no, fuck you. I don't want to give you lessons. But then we started.
No, I think you called to see if I could play bass and heavy fret. Actually, is how it started.
I think the first time I called you was to get guitar lessons, and what I had asked you was I wanted like intermediate guitar lessons, and you basically turned me down. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm pretty. I mean, if my memory serves me,
Yeah, I was like,
I don't think you're over it.
bad blood here.
no, but we did
That could
become
be
friends.
true.
And then you played bass in Heavy Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Man, isn't that something?
You probably said advanced. I was like, oh, slow down.
Yeah,
Pump the brakes.
I probably did. But your dad, of course, told me that you went to Berkeley, and he was like, my son is the best
everything.
teacher ever. And I'm like, perfect, man. I suck, so he probably can help me out.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
What years were you at Berkeley?
2001 or 2002 to 2005.
Do you know Mark Hopkins?
No.
He went to
Probably
Berkeley during
should've.
that time. He's from Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
A great guitar player.
Right on, man.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah. You think you would know? I think it seems like I would know him because, it's not a super big school.
No. I'm actually
And
surprised. Maybe I got the years wrong. I think he graduated high school 2001, so he went right there.
Yeah, that'd be around the same time.
Yeah. Are you from the Eastern Shore?
Yeah.
Both of you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time over here. I love the Eastern Shore, man.
It's a nice area. Yeah, it is.
The jetty's still the dirty jetty?
It is. The sweaty jet.
Sweaty jetty.
Sweaty jetty. It's unchanged?
It's unchanged.
Do they still pay in cash?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what,
you better count it too, because I'll short you.
Dude, I don't really gig much in the working band scene anymore, but I used to always love playing the jetty because I knew, because we're always broke. I knew that we would walk out with fucking pockets of cash and and they would feed you. Not much.
Yeah.
But not zero.
Right.
Not like a lot of the bars would be like, oh, we'll send you a check in 6 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, we just gotta go through.
You know what I mean? I always loved coming to the Eastern Shore. I was like, they will pay us.
Yeah, it's a cool spot, man. They're a little bit weird about bands playing there, like the Saturday night gigs. As far as it's something like you can't play anywhere else in Queen Anne's County. Something like that.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
So you can't, from what I remember, and again, it's been a minute, you couldn't play Red Eyes and play the Jetty.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Those two don't play.
No, they won't go for that. Now, if you do an acoustic solo gig on a Sunday or a Thursday, they're okay if you play other places.
With your band at the Jetty, right? So you can play band at Jetty and solo elsewhere.
Or
if you're just doing solo stuff, they never ask.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
If I've played at the Jetty on a Thursday night or a Sunday afternoon, and they don't care about me playing other places solo.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But the band thing I always thought was a little come on, we're not.
Oh, it's ridiculous, but it's
is.
everywhere. I mean, I remember we used to play at Ocean City. Like, you can play Fagers, you can play Secrets, but you can't play both.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you can play in Ocean City, which you can't play in Dewey. You know what I mean?
Right,
and it's like, no, those are for the Philly bands. You know that you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, like if you're good, you're good. But, like,
yeah.
I get it, but I don't get it.
I agree. I mean, you're not like pulling the entire town to another venue. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's the same thing with like Live Nation now. They own all these big venues. Like, so whether it's a small local level or like a national level, like they say, yeah, well, if you come to this town, you can play here or you're not playing in this town.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and it's just
That's
like,
wild.
it's so like that whole tribal thing is everywhere.
Yeah.
At every scale.
Yeah.
wild.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. All right,
So,
well, we got
welcome to the shift with Mike and Joe.
Dude,
Michael
happy to be here.
Palmisano. This
Yeah.
is
Man.
awesome. I told you, man, I've been watching your YouTube channel for quite a while.
Appreciate it.
Dude, it's really cool. And it's
is.
kind of funny, man, because it is a little bit like I feel anyway, like we got a celebrity.
Yeah, dude. A little bit starstruck right now.
I don't feel that way.
Well, but
Well, obviously, you're just sitting here with us.
All right. I mean, we got 20 viewers, you know what I mean? But
Hey,
but yeah,
it's
dude, it's really cool. So for people who don't know, you have a YouTube channel, Michael Palmisano.
Yeah.
You're a guitar teacher and you do mainly like reacts to different amazing musician videos of live performances.
with lessons built into them, though, I'd say. Like,
Yeah, the way that I and I can go into how I kind of stumbled upon this, but the way that I view it is like it's a one take unedited review of a live performance, and I try to get as much as I can to teach to the viewer.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's the guitar solo, sometimes it's arrangements, sometimes it's vocal stuff, sometimes it's just performance stuff, and sometimes it's just, you know, rips my face off and I just like have to deal with it and take it in and I don't teach anything. But my goal is kind of like to just, you know, it's kind of like if you walked into your guitar lesson and you're there for 30 minutes and somebody said, hey, I want to learn blank, and you know you have that strict time frame, like you know you're not going to get it note for note, and you don't already know the song, so like you listen to the riff, you get the general idea of what that person should go home and listen to and work on, and you send them on their way.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it.
so I never realized until you said they're all live performances that you're watching.
Only live, yeah.
Interesting. I didn't put that together. Now that you're saying it, I'm like, yeah, all those were live.
So that is a personal thing of mine. I view myself as a live player. I for whatever reason, I've always been attracted to live albums.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very hard for me to think of examples that I prefer studio albums. Like when I drive around in the car, like regardless of genre, I pretty much only listen to live stuff.
Yeah, I'll agree with that as well. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, and for as far as the teaching goes, and just, you know, the taking in the whole vibe of the band or the artist or whatever, seeing them is important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the live
aspect
video
is a good point.
and especially when you're trying to teach something through a live playing lens, taking the time to pause and say and point out, like, this person's communicating to this person on stage in this way. Stop. I'm going to show you. It's just like, look at that cue. Like, trying to teach those things. Those are the things that I get excited about.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one of the main reasons it works on YouTube, is because it's what excites me. And so it's going to be exciting to other people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if it's the same thing as playing on stage, if you're not excited, no one else is going to be excited.
You know, I was mentioning this morning on the way here, I've been trying to watch some extra of your videos over the past week or so, but just on the way here this morning, I scrolled back like 5 years and watched a Ween video.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're right. I've also noticed that you are always excited about whatever it is. It's lots of different types of genres.
Yeah.
And you seem to be really into all of it, which is, you know, it helps engagement, I think, helps people stick. And then the other part of it I was thinking about this morning is like, because you also read the email that like whoever suggested this video
it's
to you.
Totally driven by other people.
Yeah, and I think that is because I could just go watch that live Ween song, that it was Transdermal Celebration was the name of the song. And like I could just go watch that, right? But there's something cool about watching not only someone try to break down, like a music teacher try to break down what they're doing and playing and their interactions and their performance, but it's also cool to see someone discover a band that you really like. And you're like, holy shit, I've never heard of this before. This is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
What is he doing there? Listen to the guitar. And it's like, fuck yeah, dude. Now you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like this.
I had that same experience when I watched you watching Jason Isbell, Elliott Smith, Bright Eyes. And I'm like, this is like the music that I love, right? And to watch.
You like the heavy stuff.
Well, but it's interesting because I get the vibe you were, like me, you were kind of, or are like, more of a rock metal guy.
I grew up a metalhead, but I meant
same.
heavy, like the lyrics, like
right.
Yeah,
but then and then I got really turned on to like the singer songwriter stuff. But to see someone else like have that your background, but be able to like appreciate the lyrics, and you get the lyrics. Like I like how you talk about like what the song's about, and like
what it means to you.
Yeah, it's awesome, and the one where the guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but one of your viewers sent you a song that he wrote.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of those.
It was right after the Jason Isbell, or I think the title was like this. I haven't been moved by a song this much since Jason Isbell or something like that. And
I can't remember his name, but I know the video.
And it was like a pretty good song.
Dude, yeah. Well, see, this is the whole thing. It's like all that's happening is all the shit we would normally do if we weren't on camera. And it took me a while to figure this out.
Yeah.
But it's just like good people know good music, know more good people that know more good music. And like, especially when we were younger, when music was a physical thing. Like I went to my buddy's house and he had the new Pearl Jam record and you were like, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, if you like that, right? You like this. And then and then I'd be like, okay, well, you need to meet my friend, and then we'll go over to his house, and he's going to put you on. And it's that whole thing. Like the search is like ingrained in us. You know what I mean? Like if you love it, you love it.
You're bypassing that algorithm too. It's not just feeding you.
Yeah. So I don't for one second think about what do I think YouTube or the algorithm, whatever will like. I mean, it is very simple. Like if I make a video and like let's say it's like Jason Isbell or whatever, and 300 people in the comments are like, you need to do Elliott Smith. I'm just gonna fucking do Elliott Smith.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and look and see what's trending or whatever. And then if I say something in that video, and 500 people comment on that thing that I said in that video, like I know I touched a vein, right? And then I'm gonna remember in my memory bank that like that was really important to people. And it's usually like in those types of videos, it's where I share something personal about myself.
Yeah.
And there's something. And so I've learned over the years that whenever I do that, when you look back over the videos, those are the ones that always have like the giant peaks and people rewatch and rewatch. And so I've learned to get comfortable over the years sharing everything and without a filter. And so it's this constant commitment to trying to be real. Like, yes, I want to find the next cool guitar lick. Yes, I want to find the next lyric. Like I want to connect with you. I want to connect with you. Sharing the stories is just as big as teaching, what key it's in. Like it's all the same shit that we would already be doing. I just commit to doing it day in and day out with the cameras on.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
And your
That's cool, man.
Frequency is, how many videos do you put out? Like how?
It's harder these days because I just have so much going on. I shoot for one every other day.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's a lot. But the style, like what you're doing, what you talked about, it's unedited. You just turn the camera on.
I don't even know how to, I don't know how to, dude, I have one camera.
Yeah.
And I don't stop if I make a mistake. I cut the ends, I match the audio, I hit synchronize in Premiere, and I put a bumper on it and I upload it to YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think about it at all.
Do you
and it would perform a lot better probably if I did. But I
don't know.
I
I don't
have
know,
so much
man.
to do.
I don't know. It seems like you found a sweet spot there. Because people, I mean, I like that. I like
that authenticity, you know. That
Yeah.
people
It's
like.
everything.
Yeah.
Authenticity is everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. Because I like watching like Rick Beato breakdowns, you know, because he'll, and it's very similar, I think, to him in that he's maybe not quite as personable, but like he's talking theory and he's talking like emotion and like what is this song doing to me, and I like that a lot. You know, I prefer that over like one or the other. You know?
Yeah, I mean, so Rick and I are friends, and we talk a lot about this. And essentially what we're doing is like these are music appreciation channels.
Yeah.
You know,
How to listen to.
how to listen. Yeah, and so it is about turning people on to different things to listen to, and it's just. But the things that excite Rick are not the things that excite me, like or excite whomever. But Rick's a great example because his background. Largely is recording, it's engineering, it's you know, he's a producer, you know.
Yeah, it's very different.
Like all of the stuff in studio records that he spends, like I don't ever think about. You know, like I'm live. Like Rick does not talk about live performances.
Yeah, that's a good.
You know what I mean? Like it is very edited, and everything he does is very purposeful, and he's the best. Like literally, he's the best. But the things that excite him generally are completely different, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean? But it's all about, it's just music appreciation, and when you appreciate something genuinely, you attract other people that do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you get started in music in general? What was your entry?
So I don't remember not playing. I know you're not supposed to use double negatives. I think I was 5. I actually keep a picture on my desk of me playing at 5.
Guitar.
Guitar.
Okay.
Just to remind myself every day that I'm still doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And not forget it. And so all growing up, I took lessons. I played in bands. And eventually I went to school at GIT.
Oh, nice. Dude.
Out in LA. And I'm actually going back there in March to actually do I'm speaking there as far as like a professional development for the students there.
Cool.
Which is wild because it's been like 20 years. And so I get to share the story that I'm about to share with you, which is when I went to GIT, I went there because unlike Berkeley, GIT is more like a tech school. Like you go there, it's not a conservatory where your choices are classical or jazz. Like you go there because you want to get work. And it's like a 2-year program where it's 10 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And you, in addition to all your lessons and everything else, you have to do 10 live playing workshops a week. So twice a day in the main auditorium in front of all of your peers. And it's 10 different genres. And so this is, again, pre-YouTube and everything else like that. So they would give you the chart. You'd pull the CD out of the library. And so there would be a metal LPW where the song that week would be Slayer, Rain and Blood. Then you immediately go to like a reggae one. Then you go to a jazz one, a blues one, a country one.
That's cool,
one,
man.
Whatever. And what happens is everyone has to do 10 of those a week.
Dang.
For 2 years straight.
So you're doing 2 a day?
2 a day in front of your peers. And like someone from the bass program shows up, from the keyboard, from the vocal, the production program, whatever. And so let's say you're doing that song and there's, let's say there's 10 slots. You have 2 minutes, and so it'll be the same song 10 times in a row with a whole different band each time. And you don't get to rehearse with the other members of the band, right? You just have to know your part. There's 2 minutes in between, and you have to they have to remove their pedal board. You bring yours in, one quick line check, lights go down, 3, 2, 1, you play the song.
That's wild.
And it's with people you've never played with before, and it's purposefully a bunch of different genres. And again, you do that for 2 years. And then at the end, they make you try out for major labels and all of that. And basically, the way I viewed it is it's like a boot camp for people who want to work in the industry.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
right?
It's cool.
And so I chose that because I wanted to be a live player. I wanted to be a hired gun. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to go on fucking tour. And I wanted to play live. And when I got there in the early 2000s, music was still a physical product, right? Like there was a Virgin Record store on Hollywood Boulevard. You walk in, you buy your music, right?
Yeah.
By the time I graduated, YouTube and iTunes had come and ripped the bottom of the bucket out that Napster started poking holes in, and all the record stores were gone, and all of the A&R money was gone. And while I was there, in real time, when I first went there, maybe the top 50 guys got work, and when I graduated, maybe the top 3 guys got work.
Wow.
And I wasn't one of those top 3 guys. And so the point of that story is that the internet, in a very real way, completely ruined my plans.
Yeah.
And so I came back to Baltimore after I went broke, and started teaching and gigging like everyone did. And so I taught 50, 60 students a year or a week, taught kids rock bands, and played 110, 120 gigs a year on the same circuit you guys played in the bars, but then mostly weddings and corporate gigs because I had kids young and I had to play with what paid the most.
Yeah.
Because I was broke. And then when I did that 7 or 8 years, so now I'm in my early 30s or something like that, or 29, and I started seeing some early adopters of YouTube appear to start making a living teaching online, like Marty Schwartz and Justin Sanderco and people like that. And I still pussyfooted around for a couple years and whatever. And then by 2013, I was convinced that the internet was here to stay, and that as much as I thought I was a great player, I thought I was even a better teacher. And people seem to really resonate with how I make things really simple, because learning music was very hard for me. And I just said, you know what? I don't know how, I don't know when, but online education is going to be an industry. It's going to be a real thing. And not teaching at a school online education, but direct to consumer. And so in 2013, man, I just decided, I was I'm going to trade the stages and studios for cameras and computers, and I'm going to try to build a life around my family instead of what all musicians have to do, which is build a family around their life. And I'm going to choose education, and I'm going to choose the internet. And I spent my life savings to start Guitargate, to build the first website and film the first courses and all that. I lost money for 2 years. I had to keep gigging and teaching. Eventually, around 2016 or so, I was able to stop teaching. And around late 17, early 18, I was able to stop gigging. And so I've been teaching online full time since 2018. And now I support a family of 6. My wife and I have 4 boys, teaching guitar on the internet.
Yeah, man.
On a farm up in rural Maryland. I commute across the driveway. Yeah. It changed my life. So the punchline of all that is that the internet really kind of destroyed my initial plan, and then over the course,
gave you a brand new plan,
which has far exceeded everything that I was trying to really achieve before, as far as independence and financial security, and really just the ability to support a family is the big one.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That is so cool. I'm just curious, is the channel now the biggest? What percentage of your income does the channel fill?
Oh,
almost
none. Maybe less
really?
than 5%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's discouraging. When I was listening to you talk, you were like, well, I lost money for 2 years. And I'm thinking, well, we've only been doing this for a year. So, maybe we'll start to make some money, but we're not going to make any money.
Well,
let's hear him out.
Let's hear him out.
So I mean, this podcast is about people that do atypical things for work, right?
Yes, yeah, more or less.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the thing that a lot of people miss, or even large YouTubers, and I hate using the word influencers, but you know, the thing a lot of people miss is that the value you create is selling your own things. Like, you have to have something to sell. And so what most people do is they get a big audience, or any size audience, and then, you know, that will be like the very, very, very little bit of money. And then what most people do is they then start doing brand deals, you know, where like brands will pay you to review something or to put something in their video or whatever, you know, influencer marketing. That pays a little more. But what pays the most is that if you can find that symbiotic relationship, that perfect thing where like the reason the people like you and connect with you, if you can give them more of that, and that's the thing that you sell to them, because really all you're doing is scaling yourself on the internet. That's where you can actually make a living. And so I, believe it or not, found success on YouTube long after I had been supporting my family teaching on the internet. YouTube actually came later. I'll explain it because I'm sure you're interested.
Yeah, I am. I mean, you're. I mean, for those who don't know, like your YouTube channel is pretty substantial. How many subscribers do you have?
It is. It's almost 700,000 subscribers.
I mean, yeah, that's very substantial.
Yeah, it is. You know, and I. It's easy to compare yourself with people who are quote unquote larger than you, but I don't take for granted at all. Like every day, 2 NFL stadiums of people watch my videos.
Right, that's great.
For an average of almost 10 minutes.
And for
that's years of attention.
Yeah.
Every day.
The niche that you're in, I mean, those numbers are pretty big.
Yeah. And what's even bigger is the depth. So, the like a view is not a view is not a view. If you are just doing swipe content and you're doing reels and TikToks or whatever, and someone watches 5 seconds and it's gone, like all my kids do, like they might be on their screens for an hour, but they can't tell me the name of a single creator that they're watching.
Right.
They're not following channels. It's all push, right? If you have people watching minutes and then 5 minutes or even a 7-minute average, certainly if you get to a double-digit average and getting thousands and thousands of comments, like, and then they turn into customers, that depth, like, that's the stuff that's truly life-changing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then you know you're really onto something.
I mean, I've watched, I don't know, maybe 30 of your videos, I think. Probably, I don't know, I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
But like, I always watch them to the end, all of them. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
And I watch YouTube not really much on my phone. Like I lay in bed and watch it on my TV. That's how.
What so many people say.
Yeah,
it's a third. It's a third phone, third TV, third web.
Yeah. Another thing I was thinking about while watching your video, one of them is, I mean, it is entertaining to me, but also it's like, at least from my perspective, like I want you to finish listening to it.
I know.
So like, I'm not gonna click away because,
especially if you know there's a part coming up.
It's not annoying like when you stop. It's interesting. It puts a whole nother dynamic, but it also kind of makes me want to keep watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like until you've experienced the whole song or whatever video you're watching.
And that cadence of being able to start and stop, say something, add something, play something, and keep going and keep the viewer's attention is its own skill set.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Like it is very, like what I think about during the videos is if I try to look at a camera lens like I looked at like a student's eyeballs, I did forever, and I'm just like, am I losing them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so from every opportunity of like how much space you leave, like in punctuation of a sentence, like how much whatever, because I know I'm not going to go back and edit it. Right. So like if you watch old videos, they're not nearly as good as the new ones because like it's a skill you try to get better at. But yeah, it's really hard to get people to watch a really long time, especially when you don't edit your videos. It's a real thing.
I'm sure it is, but I also think that it's just, you know, like a natural thing that you either have or you don't. You know,
I totally think so too.
You're either engaging to watch or you're not. You know what I mean? And no amount of editing. I mean, some amount of editing is going to improve that a little bit, but you know, some people just are easier to watch. And on the note of, you know, starting and stopping, at some times so I'm not like, full disclosure, I have never learned anything from any of your videos because one,
That blows my mind that so many people watch that aren't like, it feels so nerdy guitar centric to me.
No, I mean, it's not overly nerdy guitar centric. I mean, there are times when you're talking about music theory and I mean, I'm still watching, but it's kind of like just glazing over.
Joe thinks you're talking about fret numbers when you're talking about scale degree.
Yeah.
My brain just doesn't comprehend that stuff. But sometimes, like when you'll go back, like you're like trying to figure out what they're doing, and you'll stop it and rewind it and play it a couple more times.
Yeah.
You know, I'm usually watching a video of a song that I know and love, and that's a cool part because it might not be something that I noticed. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is really cool. What the fuck is he doing right there?
Yeah. It's the best.
Know? And I can, although I'm not an amazing guitar player, I still really appreciate amazing guitar playing. So that's a thing that draws me to, you know, the stuff that you post, you know.
I appreciate that. It just endlessly blows my mind. Like I have people come up to me all the time. They're like, I don't play, but I watch all your videos. And I'm just like, so what do you do from minute 13 to minute 19 when I'm literally just talking about like the Dorian mode? Like, what, do you fast forward? And they're like, no. I was like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing?
They're just watching your excitement.
I'm like,
that's it. That's the answer.
Yeah.
It's the enthusiasm is contagious. That's literally what everyone says.
It is for sure.
And that really broadens your audience base. I mean, because it's not just music people watching. It's like you said, it's music appreciation, which if you went to a college, like people taking music appreciation class, a lot of times aren't musicians.
Yeah.
Right? They're there to learn to appreciate and listen. And
there's music appreciation classes in college?
Yeah.
How did I miss that? I would have got an A in that class.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely music appreciation classes.
So you kind of mentioned a little bit a minute ago about having something to sell, which is a great segue into your pedal.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and kind of give us the rundown on that?
Sure. So everything that I have done, when I chose to start Guitargate and to commit to cameras and computers and education and the internet, it was for one thing. When I went to GIT, I was a very lost soul. And I found, not just in the lessons and surrounding myself with people that were better than me, but in the community, like I found a home and I really found the motivation and the inspiration to not give up on myself. And when I started Guitargate, that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be, from the very beginning, back in 2013, a community where people are trying to get better musically, personally, and to learn and to create and share and connect with other people like themselves so they don't give the fuck up, right? So they keep the guitar in their hands. That's like my mantra. Like, just keep picking it up, like, so it stays a part of your life and music stays a part of your life. And so I've been doing that since 2013. And in the past 3 years, we developed a pedal called the Teleport, which is the first Wi-Fi like connected, loop pedal for music. Like, the connected devices are very ubiquitous in other industries, especially like everyone has a Apple Watch or in fitness, you know what I mean? They have a Peloton or whatever, but there's nothing in music. And so for years, Guitargate has always been, here's the videos, You can upload your own video. I'll review your playing for feedback. You can, communicate with the other members. You can ask questions, whatever. But there's no collaboration. There's no making of music as a group. That thing that happens when you're together still isn't there. It was just a content delivery system, right? And I've always wanted it to be a school, like a place where people have people to play with, and they feel like they're their fucking people. And so we made a device to achieve those things. It's called the Teleport. And so basically what it is we made a loop pedal that we wanted it to make it the easiest thing you've ever used to start creating. You don't need a computer. You don't need to worry about a DAW. You don't need to figure out all these plugins. You don't need to, you have a guitar, you have an amp, you have a cable, you're good, right? And the way the pedal is designed, every piece of it is a drum machine to help you play better in time. It's 4 different tracks that can be different lengths to help you create parts. It has 4 different ins and outs, so you can get a full band sound, put bass to bass amp, guitar to guitar amp, whatever. And then it's connected to Wi-Fi so that you can download your lessons to the pedal and play them out of your amp. So you can jam with your teacher. You can jam with the other members of the community. And then you can create bands and play together, right? So the whole idea is if you don't have people to play with, it comes with them.
Yeah.
And if you can't join a band, it comes with bands for you to join, And so it's a physical device that's taken us 3 years to bring to market, but it's now in market. That is the first one of its kind that is literally designed for the community to be able to finally play music together. And all of that goal is the same goal, is to kind of recreate what I found at GIT. It's the lessons, it's the inspiration, the motivation, and the people to help you keep going.
So if I buy a Teleport pedal and Guitargate comes with it.
Yeah, you can't. The pedal is not for sale in stores. It's not for sale in retail. You can't buy the pedal by itself. Basically, you become a member of Guitargate, and I send you the pedal for free.
Okay, gotcha. And so then I go on Guitargate to find people to collaborate with. Is that how that works?
So different people have different goals and different starting points, but it's first and foremost an educational platform. So you join Guitargate and you will, have access to all of my courses, which are step-by-step from beginner to basically everything. I've distilled everything that I've learned through a life of learning, being a teacher, and being a live player, through that lens. But then you also get access to the whole community of people who are posting songs that they're making every day. And then you get weekly lessons and master classes with guests that are friends of mine, that are other artists or whomever, who, like the next one coming out, I don't know if you know who Molly Miller is.
No.
She's an incredible jazz player, plays in Jason Mraz's band. She's a professor at UCLA. And then the week after that, I have this guy, Jake Baines, who's this Nashville head cutter, and we've had Guthrie Trapp and Jack Rouge, and I'm trying to get bigger and better artists. But the point is, every week, in addition to my courses and everything else in the community, you'll get a lesson from someone visiting who made a song on the Teleport.
Cool.
It's 4 parts. So you'll get a rhythm part, like a basic riff will be like anyone could play, like your bar chords or whatever. An upper like triad part or horn part, something that like is a little more advanced, but it's somewhere else on the neck. A bass part, and then like a melody part. And then it has the drum machine. And so you download that, you hear him play out of the amps, the live band sound, you get a video, this is how I made the song. And so it's this constant commitment of, you have the courses that you're going through, which wherever you're starting is wherever you're starting, and you go at the pace you want. And then you have these regular inserts of like, learn this exact thing, learn how to recreate it. Like, this is how parts are fit together. And I try to, it's a staggering of me and friends and other artists and instructors. And then it's an entire community with a feed and a whole group section where members are making bands together, and so you log on and you say, oh, I'm scrolling, I take a listen, oh, I see these two people are playing together, there's 2 more open slots, I'm going to download this song, I hear them out of my amps in my room, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking rad, let me add a melody part, and I add a melody part and re-upload it, and then the same way it's like, oh, you like this Radiohead, maybe you would like this. It's the same exact thing. You know what I mean? But for players.
Right.
It's, oh, that was a hot riff. Let me add this thing over top of it. Then it's just like, oh, we need a bass part. Now Rick's gonna.
You're gonna eventually have like hit songs put together through this platform, I would think.
That's my goal. My goal is to ultimately connect the physical and digital, and so the people that come together digitally, I want to have shows and festivals and like shit that has happened and get them to play on stage. It's going to be a thing.
How many Guitargate members do you currently have?
So active and historical are different. Like if you go on the website, you'll see me use the number 200,000, that's how many people have joined and enrolled since 2013. There are not that many active. On the average month, I would say there's maybe 10 to 15,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we just launched Teleport just in 2025, and we've only made, I think we've made 1,750 units, and they're all sold out. And I think this is my favorite metric to share. Historically in Guitargate, maybe, and I mean maybe, 5% of people would post a video or post something. Mm-hmm. The overwhelming majority of people would just consume. Right? Or watch nothing. You know what I mean? They would join thinking that it would engage them. But at the end of the day, it's not. It's just video, right? Yeah. It's not nearly as engaging as being in the room with someone. You're not hearing them, right? Over 50% of the people, so that's 800 some people or whatever already, are not just downloading songs, they're uploading songs every single week.
Yeah,
that have the teleport,
and that's only going to grow.
Yeah. Our biggest problem right now is manufacturing, is making them.
Yeah, right.
And because I don't know how much you guys are interested in the business stuff, but like
100%.
Yeah.
100%?
Yes.
100% interested.
All right. Well, I don't care sharing numbers at all. It's a computer. It's not a loop pedal. It is a consumer Wi-Fi device. And it's made in America. It is very expensive to make. It costs about $250 for each one to make.
Man, to make. What's the retail
to
price?
Manufacture? Well, again, there is no retail price. It's included in membership.
Oh, okay.
But the membership is $30 a month. So what that means is I basically delay all profit until year 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I only get profit if you love it and you decide to stay after year 2.
Right.
Because when you become a member, the pedal's yours to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not asking for it back. That's how much I'm like trying to like put this into the universe. So you join and you pay, your $360 it is for the year, and the pedal's yours. I could easily sell the pedal for $500-$600 on its own.
Yeah.
But so I have to pay all of that and take all that risk for the entire first year. And then all my profit is delayed to year 2. And then all of that money I do get has to go back into inventory for more. Right. And it's this giant ball.
You could probably.
So the amount of risk of carrying is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a great idea though. I'm thinking too, like,
you just can't go broke.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It'd be fine.
I was just thinking too. I mean, you could eventually. I would think that you would probably have offers from like big pedal companies to buy this.
Already have. Not interested.
Yeah, you already have.
Yeah, not interested.
Yeah,
I've had people try to buy Guitargate 2 or 3 times, like once before the pandemic, and then 2 heavy in the pandemic. There was a lot of consolidation in my industry, just like a lot of online content delivery platforms during the pandemic. Private equity tried to buy, and they did successfully buy a lot, and a lot of like online lesson things out there that you might think are different companies most of them are actually now owned by one.
Wow, I didn't realize.
But no, I'm not interested, and it has nothing to do with the money. It's for the exact same reason that I mentioned before. The thing that I'm trying to recreate, the thing that I'm trying to offer people, is also what I'm trying to offer for myself. Like, I don't want to quit.
Yeah.
Like, the more people that I get behind me, the less chance I put the fucking guitar down.
Yeah, it's good.
And I I'm as much as I spend my whole day trying to figure out how I provide value for other people, like, they do it. I am the recipient of most of in my mind. Like, I wake up every day and I see thousands of people making songs. What do? I download them. I pick up my guitar.
Yeah.
And I respond musically. And then what did I do? I had my guitar in my hands that day.
Right. Yeah.
That's the thing I don't want to give up. Like, I'm doing this so I don't quit on me too.
So you're contributing to a lot of the stuff that
Every day.
your users
I spend my whole day. I don't much to the detriment of, not detriment, but much to the chagrin of my partner and just everyone else involved. I don't spend my day doing business shit.
Yeah.
Like, I spend my entire, and I really don't make financial decisions. Like, I spend my whole day talking to customers and emailing and making music and teleporting. Like, my entire day is spent with people on the other ends of the cameras and shit.
So you have a partner.
It does all the web stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm extremely not tech savvy at all.
Okay. And do you have more people on your team? What's that like?
So Guitargate is a software company. We are a community, service, right? We are a community service, the company. So that is doesn't require a lot of people. But the hardware, right? We obviously had to hire an OEM to manufacture the product, engineers, we subcontract designers, whether it's for the app or for whatever. That is I think it's a lot of people. It's another 8 or 10 people. I mean, there's really only a couple core individuals, but you're making physical stuff. That is its whole thing. That's not insignificant.
It's not one guy in his garage putting the pedal.
But as far as like the actual experience that the customer like interacts with, like the app, the website, like if they email whatever, it's just Matthew and I.
Okay.
And we have a true rare, like, symbiotic relationship. I have no idea what he does, and I could not do 1 inch of his job for 1 hour a day, and he has no idea what I do, and he could not do my job for 1 minute of one day. Like, it is a true 100% symbiotic relationship.
How did you guys meet?
Childhood best friends, grew up next to each other.
Wow.
That's perfect, right?
Yeah. All of my relationships in my life are long term like that.
Yeah.
Every single one is like that.
That's awesome, man. I mean, you have to have somebody like that if you're going to develop a product like,
because it's pure trust.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like, he is a serious pro, like a super duper pro. The fact that I grew up with him is wild. And the fact that, he spends his time, I mean, his last really big gig, he was an engineer for Amazon with hundreds and hundreds of engineers under him.
Oh, wow.
Like a superstar. And I got him working on guitar shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that only happens with faith and trust of decades of, of knowing that that your partner is going to deliver for you. And even though he doesn't play music, you know, doesn't have a musical, like, doesn't teach anything like that. Like, I mean, literally so different. But, you know, we have risked years, and I can't even tell you how much money. And so, like, it's purely based on, like, the trust we have from knowing each other for, you know, almost 40 years now. Just like, he knows that, like, that I will not fail. Like, I will not quit. And I know that he won't fail and he won't quit. And we never talk, we never have arguments. We just do our own jobs, and the world keeps turning.
Wow.
It's truly incredible.
That's awesome. You got a question?
So I mean, yeah.
I had one too. This happens a lot.
Going on in a different direction.
We look at each other when we're both about to say something.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of questions, but like, just on that point, like, how do you, he doesn't know what you do, you don't know what he does, but there's obviously some kind of communication. Is it like, hey, Matthew, I want to be able to do this, and then he just does it? Or is there some interaction there? Like,
his real gift is being able, there are many, many extremely talented engineers out there, and neither of us are really business people. We're really like creatives. And so in a lot of ways, the business stuff is, I wouldn't say it's secondary, but it's like, we just focus on product all day. Like, we never, like, it's a different conversation. Anyway, his true gift is whether it was, you know, in his corporate job or with me, is taking abstract, emotional, you know, I want it to feel like this. I want the user to log on and feel like they have friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you give him that direction? Or
yeah, right. Okay. And then have him be like, okay, this is what we're going to build. These are the steps. These are what I need from you, and they're going to happen in this order.
Okay. Wow.
Like,
that's awesome.
Completely different. Like.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to have that if you're trying to build something.
I have to.
Like, because you're, like you said, like, how the fuck am I going to put this together? I have this amazing idea.
Yeah.
Oh, here's this guy who I've been friends with my whole life who knows exactly how to put it together.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to give him the direction.
And if I didn't, then my, you know, YouTube revenue would be my revenue. Right?
Right.
Like, you have to make the thing that you're selling, and then you have to sell it. And so I do the selling, and the people are largely, you know, buying it because of me. And I'm making the content that they're receiving, but the vehicle by which they receive the content, communicate with each other, and form, he builds all that.
Yeah.
I would have no idea what to do.
So then who figures out, are we making money or are we losing money? And like, what are we going to set up as an LLC, or are we going to be a corporate? Like,
I do that.
Okay.
I mean, it's a conversation, of course. The legal stuff that I do, and I pay accountants and attorneys, and we do it the right way. And I do largely dictate the business plan, but I think that how do I explain this? The business plan isn't dictated by like what I want or what we want. The business plan is dictated by what the customers want.
Yeah.
So when you spend all day talking to them and emailing them and playing guitar with them, like, they tell you why they're members, why they quit. They tell you why they referred their brother, or why they will never refer their brother, right? They tell you, and so we just make what they want.
What do our customers want?
We just do it. So it's the same. So it's the same as YouTube. Like, I make the videos people request.
Yeah.
If people are on Guitargate and they're like, hey, I really want to learn, like, I fucking make it for them.
Yeah.
So this
is a similar thing to Mike and I. I know that the customers just want more Mike. You know what I mean? That's what they want. So
that's the product.
I literally do all of this single-handedly, put it all together so I can deliver them the product.
Hey, I set up some stuff. But okay, so
was a joke.
when you first started Guitargate, did you release beginner through advanced, or did you like make a beginner course and then gradually add to it? Like, and was that dictated by?
So yes, so in the beginning, you don't know anything, and so I did start with a completely comprehensive beginner to advanced course, which is absolutely not what I would recommend for anybody starting this. The way that I describe it, and I also started with a completely custom website, and that I paid for before my partner Matthew got involved. Although he was helping like consult, but I hadn't convinced him. It took many years to convince him to to become day to day. It's quite significant.
To jump on board.
Yeah,
It's quite significant. And the way that I kind of think of it is like, when I first decided to do this, I was just like, I'm going to do it all as best I can, right? And I'm just going to launch this perfect thing. It's kind of like when you're a musician and you're like, I'm going to make this album. And
I was just thinking
like
that.
this perfect album.
Yeah.
And I'm going to spend all this money, and then it's going to be a year and no one knows I'm doing it. And then I take it and I have this magical thing. And then,
It's going to explode
and
immediately.
then lo and behold, my mom and my girlfriend and I saw 5 other copies, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Right.
Same thing happened. So I spent, my wife and I think we had saved like maybe 50 grand or so to like buy our first house. And we had 2 kids at that point. Spent all of it on a custom website, paid to, get custom video shoots and make all the courses and diagrams. You have to remember, this is 2013.
Yeah.
This isn't like it is now, like it was just easy and cheap to make content or websites.
Well, that's what I was wondering. You paid a lot for that.
I paid a lot. And then I launched it out into the world, and no one knew I was making it. I had no audience. And so we, lost money for 2 years, easy. Then I got my first success, actually was on a course platform called Udemy.
Yeah.
If you're familiar. And so same concept as like a record label. The only reason musicians signed record deals historically, I should say specifically for the selling of their albums, is because that's how you got music to people. They had to actually ship physical music into stores, and that's what.
And
So they paid you on the radio, and they get you on the radio, and they put you on tour with other artists. But the whole point is, they had customers, you had product.
Right.
That's the thing. So, or whether you're like a writer works for a newspaper, like they have customers, you have product. You're on TV, right? They have customers, you have product. Same deal. So I couldn't sell my courses worth a damn. And so I put them on Udemy and worked that system, which was the largest course platform in the world. It probably still is. And sold like 100,000 courses on there, and really figured out that system. And I left Udemy and went back to running my own website probably in like 2016 or so, once I realized how to drive traffic. Facebook ads came out in like 15, 16, YouTube started, at Google, it started being a monetized platform. Like the industry, I was growing up with the industry. I didn't realize how early I was, even though it felt really late.
Yeah.
And so then I started figuring out how to use Facebook ads and get my own customers and convert them and cultivate a community. And but it took, at least until I'd say 2016, probably 2017, till after we initially spent that 50 grand or whatever it was in 2013 to make any money.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so those courses that you made originally, that's still like, I'm obviously.
No, I've redone them since then.
Oh, you've redone them. Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, they look like shit. It sounds terrible.
Okay.
Yeah. They're still up on Udemy. One of the problems with that platform is that, everything is sold in perpetuity, so I actually can't remove it.
Wow.
And all of those customers are not my customers. I can't email them.
I was wondering about that too.
So it's like Amazon. Like you buy something from Amazon and you say, "Oh yeah, I'm buying Korg piano or a Yamaha whatever from on Amazon, those are Amazon's customers.
Yeah.
Those aren't Yamaha's customers.
Wow.
Right. So if you have an issue, you contact Amazon.
Yeah, but like, yeah, exactly. And the returns are done through Amazon and everything's through Amazon. And that company that used Amazon as their fulfillment center and sales partner doesn't get the customer information, doesn't get their email address, doesn't get to send them any links.
Right.
And Udemy actually barred you from doing so.
Yeah, I used to sell on Amazon, and it was like everything was randomized or like coded. You know, you couldn't, like, if a customer emailed you, it was like you couldn't actually see their email.
Yeah.
You could, you know.
Right.
It was all ran through Amazon.
Right.
It's like,
so it's the same deal. Why does everyone sell on Amazon? Why did I sell on Udemy? Like, why do people get record?
Or Etsy or different things like
It's because they have the customers, you have the product.
yeah.
So the whole, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
The whole, you mentioned a few minutes ago, you know, you spend your day with the guitar in your hand and talking to customers, and you said something along the lines of like, you don't really do much of the business, but I mean, you do, but that whole concept that you were describing about, and what you're just talking about, right? Like, you went from this platform that they had the customers, and then you realized over a course of time that I can build my own community and drive my own traffic to my product. Is that, my question is, like, how did you just learn that over time naturally, or did you have a business coach that kind of helped you realize that concept?
No. One of the things about my industry in particular, which, again, there are parallels in other industries, but in mine in particular, which, you know, in the digital age, Generation 1, man. There's nobody older to talk to that's done it before. You know, like, we all know each other. The ones that like make a living and support our families, like, we all talk to each other. But there's no one that's teaching it. Like, you can't go to school for it. Like, there's no thing for this. And so you just keep going and you do more of what works and less of what doesn't. And I have found that things either really work or they don't work at all. And on the internet, when you're doing things at scale, when they work, like, they really work.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, your inbox has become unreadable.
Right.
And like, it just explodes. And so if you listen to those people, and you follow the pulse, you know, everything else kind of tends to follow.
Do you think that skill was?
I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it does. Yeah, and but I guess I didn't really ask the question that's like in my mind. Like, do you think that just came, like, the ability to realize that, is that just something that came naturally to you, or did somebody point it out to you?
No, I think it's very similar. Like, when you're in a band and you play a bunch of places and no one shows up, and then all of a sudden you do something and the fucking room's packed.
Yeah,
you're gonna do that again.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing of, like, when you spend your days, I don't know if you want to say in entertainment or whatever, but if you're used to, like, being the product, like when you're on stage and you're on teaching or whatever, like, if your lesson rooms are packed and, like, you have a waiting list, like, you know you're doing something right. Like, if you're playing shows and, like, you're getting rehired immediately and, like, people are having a good time and the room is packed and, like, you turn a dead audience, like, you do more of that, right? And so, like, if that's your mindset, right? And we're talking about music, the whole point is connecting with other people. So, like, when you how do I make this more tangible? So, like, when I first started, when I first was able to stop teaching and then stop gigging, and so I was supporting a family full time online, I was selling courses, really, right? And so I was largely converting Facebook ads and using Udemy to supplement until I could get rid of Udemy. And that was, you know, that was 2 to 3, 4 years or something like that. But the industry really, I really hadn't, found that organic traffic. I hadn't found that thing that was different. I found like how to make the math work, right? But I hadn't figured it out. It was really, really, really hard. And then when I did eventually figure out the YouTube thing, and I did eventually...
But you were making YouTube videos at that time.
I made hundreds and hundreds that did nothing. 500 that did nothing. Because, again, this is another conversation, but I'll try to weave it in. I was committed to the internet and education, but I didn't know my way. I didn't know what people wanted from me, why they liked or didn't like me. I had people that I thought were doing a good job that I was mirroring after. I had this basic idea of a business concept of like, people will buy courses, they'll become members, get all my courses. And if they stay X amount of time, then that's the amount of value they're worth. Like I had a basic understanding of those things, but there was no one to call. There was no course to take on this. There was no school to go to. Like this is 100% by feel, happening in real time. Like I learned ads when ads were fucking invented, like in real time.
Yeah.
And so, but if you don't give up, you eventually find out what works for you and why, and who your audience is, why they like you, and whatever. So I was trying to make videos like all these other people that I looked up to and respected, and just try to do them my way or do them better. And like none of them worked. And it wasn't until I actually got burned out on making YouTube videos in like 2019, and I put the guitar down for like 3 or 4 months. At this point, I was like, I am not going to make any more videos. I have enough customer base. Like I'll make courses, but like I'm done with YouTube, right? And then somebody took me to, we had friends of ours take us to a Dead & Company show. And I had never been a jam band fan or Into the Dead or anything like that. But my wife and I had seen Mare a couple times. And we went to the show, and I saw 3 things. 1, I've never seen John look happier. 2, I've never been to such a happy audience. And then 3, as a guitar player, I was like, his sound is completely different. He's not playing the Stevie Ray Vaughan disciple stuff that I'm used to hearing from John. It's chord tone soloing. It's not key centered, blues stuff. And I went home and I was like, there's magic here. There's magic here. I don't know what it is. I've been burned out on guitar. Like you probably had periods in your life where you put it down and picked it back up, right?
Absolutely. After Berkeley, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I need a break, man.
Yeah. So I had gone through one of those periods, and so I went home and I was just like, I'm gonna try to learn some of these songs. And then after I learned a couple, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna like put the camera on and kind of like pretend that like it's just like any kid came into my lesson room like I did thousands of times, right? And I'm just gonna watch the video. I'm gonna talk to the camera like it's whatever, and I'm gonna get what I can gather, and I'm gonna try to give them something to work on, and like I'm just gonna post that, like because like I'm tired of whatever. But I'm just going to be me, but real quick. And then so I couldn't call it a lesson because I was learning.
Right.
And so there was like, this was like the React thing hadn't really become a thing yet.
Okay.
But I saw vocal teachers doing it, and no one had done it with an instrument. And I was just like, fuck it, I'll just call it the Guitar Teacher Reacts. And that's when I found my voice on YouTube. And so,
that's cool.
And that happened at the end of 2019. And then what happened, so to get back to answering your question, I'm trying to weave this all together.
I don't even remember what I asked you.
Is that, you'll remember when I say it, is that that process of like losing money for the first couple years and then slowly trying to figure it out, like with Facebook ads and like these other platforms and all these different things, like I finally gotten to a place where like, I could support my family. I could make a living. I'm just like squeezing little drops out of this like orange rind, right? It was like totally pulling teeth. And then out of nowhere, like YouTube was like, would you like a whole orange now, right? And just delivered me this legion of people that connected with the videos organically. And I'd never had organic traffic before. And so those people came in and they wanted 2 things. They wanted to know They wanted to pick what the next fucking YouTube video was, right? And they wanted me to teach them specific things on Guitargate.
Mm-hmm.
And so all I did was start making the videos that they wanted, right? And then the people that joined Guitargate, like I let them pick the videos next on YouTube. And then I made the lessons and courses and community stuff that they wanted and jammed with them. And nothing has changed since then. Like I
Give the people what they want.
That's awesome.
That's it. So it wasn't like I had this business plan. And I still don't have a business plan. Like my plan is music saved my life. Learning it, being in a community of people, like gave me this thing. I'm a firm believer of the power of the internet. Like it changed my life. I'm trying to spread that everywhere else. And I spend my whole day talking to other people and playing music with them, trying to just build this community. Like I don't view myself as a business person. I'm a community builder. I'm a teacher that builds communities.
Yeah.
I never look at like the numbers and say, oh, the numbers say we should make a different decision.
So
and
if
that's
you-
not a good way to be. I wish I had that person to do that.
I don't know, man.
That would allow me to just continue to do what I do.
So if let's say I'm a Guitargate member and I say, man, I really want to learn about modes, and you've already got a video on that, do you say go check out this video, or do you make a new video like specifically for?
Well, when I could respond to everything, I would do my best to give people what they wanted.
Like a new,
I've lost that ability many years ago.
You've probably got a million requests for, hey, watch this video next.
It's constant.
Yeah.
It's constant. I mean, if I had my app on me, I'd pull it up and show you. But it's constant. And so I have moderators, and I have it's really just all by feel. But so basically, what I do is I try to strike a balance of genres. I try to strike a balance of, I try to have a female teacher. I try to have, I try to do something that focuses on not just lead playing, but maybe, making some orchestral rhythmic part. Like I try to have rhythm focused stuff versus harmonic focus. Like I try to strike a balance of things at this point. But it's the same as anything else. Like if I see your comment or your video and it resonates with me, I'm probably going to just do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to see everything.
Yeah.
But I also know that like if it resonates with that person enough that it resonates with me and I want to do it, there's probably more people that also want to see it.
Yeah.
yeah, or like you were saying, if 500 people tell you do this, then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, wow.
Exactly. It really is the most organic thing ever. Like
That's awesome, man.
the whole thing is completely. I mean, I committed to the internet and education and building a community. Like that's a commitment of mine, and I focus on live music and like there are all these things where I dictate kind of like the lane. But as far as the nuts and bolts of like what the experience is, it is 100% community organic driven. Like it is not dictated like I think the business should be this.
I think that's
It's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's almost reactive in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
the whole idea, like, I mean, because I do private lessons, very traditional setting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the idea of like incorporating the teleport into the lessons seems like a pretty cool idea, you know, because your students could, but it's like you're doing that on a way grander scale. But I think it would even be cool on like a
Well, what I'm
smaller
actually
scale.
trying to do is make it also a tool for other teachers, YouTubers, whomever, to connect with it in their lives. Like imagine you had a student and you're like, "Hey Joe, go home and work on this riff," and you just immediately like you make the riff, you teleport. I text it to you. Joe goes home, hits the link. It's on his teleport. He hits play. Here's you coming out of his amp. He jams with it.
yeah, that'd be
Spends
so,
an hour on it, and then he makes a part, and you're
Yeah,
like,
that's
and then sends it back to you, and you're like, Joe, you did a good job, or you're like, Joe, it's Thursday, I see you on Fridays. Where's your fucking part?
yeah,
Right? Like
yeah. It's
the goal is
really
not is not limited, I should say, in any stretch. Like it's not limited to like I want to find a way to work with instructors, schools, whomever, so that they can, expand, beyond the walls of their own rooms.
Yeah, every music school student gets a teleport when they pay tuition.
I'd love to.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Like the way you have to get a laptop or whatever.
You know what's cool? You know what's funny? There are so many things about this that I never saw coming. One, people are buying them for their teachers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Like, I'm getting people buying memberships, because you can't buy the pedal, like, for their teachers. I never saw that coming.
Yeah, that is pretty wild.
Yeah, because the teacher's selling them something, right? Like, but they're like, no, I'm buying this for you because I want to play with, I want to teleport with you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, it's great because it doesn't take away from, it's not this like, oh, I'll join Guitargate instead of taking my local lessons. It's actually the opposite. It's like enabling people to expand in the relationship with their teacher that they already have.
Yeah, and
it gives them people to play with.
Yeah, like my student, I have students that are of all different levels, and sometimes you get a student, and this is just one example, but that's maybe above the levels of your other students, and you want to provide them with other people to play with, and it's like, and if they're around here, not a lot of, from what the kids are telling me, there's not a lot of other kids that play music, and it's like, well, here you go. Like, exactly. So this is maybe like kind of a more technical question, but there is no bank on the teleport, right? It's like, so like, let's just say like I send you a riff and Joe sends you a riff. You're not saving them to, there's not like 99 presets. It's like every time I click on the link, it overwrites whatever was on there.
No, the teleport has 32 gigs of storage on it.
Okay, so you're storing those.
So you're storing songs. So basically, like, if I send you a riff, it's going to probably be a 1-track song. So I send you a song that's going to have that riff on track 1 and track 2, 3, 4 blank.
Okay.
Right? Then you can download or create, 40 songs, and whether you're connected to the internet or not.
Oh, okay, cool.
You use it as like a loop pedal. Take it to a gig. So like if you want your bass player to play your solo gig with you, but he's not there, like just you can bring your teleport and plug him to another input on your PA, and Rick's actually like, that's actually him playing bass on your track.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. There's so many things that I never ever saw coming with the teleports, because what it is. Essentially, even though we built this as like a learning tool, a community building tool, essentially what's happening is that you're making the output of the instrument a shareable file. So the instrument and the thing it plugs into no longer need to be in the same room together or same studio or stage. And that file is an uncompressed WAV file.
Okay.
So it sounds the same as if I was plugged into your amp. So like if I download a song on a teleport here of me playing and I plug it into your amp, like it's going to move the air in the room identically as if I was just plugged in direct.
Yeah.
Like it is the same thing. So that thing has enabled people to use it for all kinds of different reasons. That have nothing to do with education at all. And there's another cool component, which is you also get the files. So if I send you something and you send it to him and we send it to, Sarah, and then she sends it to John, and now we have this 4-part song, right, that we've all made on our teleports. I just click one button and I export those time synced waves to my DAW.
Yeah,
and then I can make a proper song, and it's not just us jamming in the room.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
So like that's not stuff that excites me much, but people go apeshit over it.
So
I can imagine.
A couple years ago, I did a handful of videos with some other friends that are musicians in the general area, where we did a cover song. And it's a full band, but we weren't together, right? So I would do my part, and send it to Mike, and Mike would, video his part. I don't think you actually did any with me, but Jesse did.
First I've heard about this. I'm a little offended.
Crosby.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Played on one of them. But the biggest issue that we had was syncing everything and making sure the timing. And this particular product would have been very helpful with something like that,
Dude, it's so cool seeing people use it with their bands. I was at my one of my sons, like a school fundraiser up in Baltimore right after it hit the market, and this dude came up, he gave me this big hug, and he was like, "Dude, the teleport." And I was like, "Yes, the teleport." and he was like, "I went to college. I had a band. We played all the time. Now everybody went and got jobs and got married and got kids, and we don't play in a band anymore. Now we all got teleports. We got the fucking band back together."
Awesome. Yeah,
and I was just like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's almost like an iPhone, like in terms of the flexibility. You know what I mean? Like when the iPhone first came to market, it's like people didn't even really realize how.
Wait, can you make a phone call?
It would get used.
No,
but just like the flexibility of it, like the
Dude, I hate. I'm typically not a name dropper, but I got to share the story. So, I never the way people are using things. So somewhere in my travels, I became friends with Keith Urban, and he invited me to his studio, and I brought him 2 teleports, right? And then he asked if he could have a couple more. So I ended up giving him 4. And one of them was for his guitar tech. And his guitar tech, and Keith told me that they were going to use it to do sound checks.
Oh my gosh.
Live on the road. Because
that's smart.
Because it can use Keith's actual playing with the actual guitar he's going to plug into the amp. Mm-hmm. And save those songs right on the teleport. Wait for this. On the teleport, then have them plugged into the exact amp he's going to be playing, and be able to let them loop and go out to the fucking front of house.
Yeah, right.
And listen.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually Keith on his actual guitar playing the actual riff of the actual song through his actual rig, and Keith is not fucking there.
Yeah.
Never saw that one coming.
Wow.
That's
brilliant.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
But they thought of that.
Because now
I didn't think of that.
Now he can actually hear what does my mix sound like, right? Like himself.
Right. Exactly. So you could
never know.
And I don't know if he's doing this. Keith, if you see this, like you should do this. But like, make a 2-minute loop, and then have the actual band play. Mm-hmm. And then walk out to front of the house with the engineers and hear how you sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. Is he wanted to hear what does my mix actually sound like? Because you never know when you're on stage.
Well, I'm hoping that Keith. I hope you do.
But this way he can just not be. He doesn't have to do a sound check.
He can be at the Four Seasons.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have a Soundcraft UI 18 wireless mixer, and it has a
fucking hate those. I have a set. Maybe it's a 24, but it's the rack one.
Yeah, the rack one,
and it's wireless.
Yeah.
And you have to use either the iPad or the phone. There's no knobs or buttons.
Yeah.
Complete dog shit. Go on.
Soundcraft, if you hear this,
it has a similar feature where, and I only use it once or twice, but the band has to be there, so it will literally like, you guys are doing your sound check, and you play something and it records it, and then you can go out to the front of house and hear what it sounds like.
Right.
Similar kind of thing, but like what you're talking about, you could actually do that ahead of time.
Right.
Here's sound guy, take this. I'm going to the casino for an hour while you do the sound check.
Yeah, or even just like, a lot of times the crew gets to a place long before the artist does.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And there are other bands, and you're on a festival, and you got a sound check, and you have like whatever. If you just like have the signals.
Yeah,
and the bass player has one,
right?
And it's just like, and the other guitar player has
all
one.
Goes to where it needs to go, and
the volume is, it's at unity, so it's like it is not different in any audible way than if you are actually plugged in there yourself, and it's just it's.
Can you record
wild.
vocals into this thing?
So We are coming out with a Vox Box, a VOX, BOX, in the next couple months that will let people do that.
Is that like a
External.
adapter kind of thing?
Yeah,
Basically?
we get lots of requests for people that want like 8 tracks and all this shit, and they want it built in, and they want XLRs, and you got to remake this whole thing. And maybe we will expand it, but I really am a fan of just doing one thing and nailing it. Simple
too, right?
Making it simple.
Yeah.
Like there's not a single extra knob or button or feature. Like if it had to be menu dive, like we got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
that's awesome.
I want it to stay something like my dad could use.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who can.
I can imagine that there's a market though for
there is
amped up. You know,
there is
4 pedals in one, built-in effects, and
I know, but and maybe I'll get talked into that. You know, and maybe that'll happen. But for right now, I just want to. I'm gonna make an inexpensive box in pedal form that has 2 ins, 2 outs, XLRs with phantom power, and just gain, and to just make it so people can use vocals.
Yeah.
And stay focused on the community and the teaching and the cultivating of the making of content and songs together, and not get held up in like what the music products industry wants.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the product that you currently have is more driven towards that, right? That collaboration and right.
Yeah, it's like, it reminds me, I mean, on a grander scale, but like when I first started, when I was like in high school, just recording stuff, I had just like a Tascam 4-channel, recorder, and it was so like easy to use, and the creativity could flow. And like when the computer, like you were saying, all the plugins and the firing up your interface and all that stuff, it's like you have an idea and you just want to like get the idea out, but there's all this friction between you and the idea getting it down. You know,
is creation, is the time you're spending on music, like, do you want it to be messing with all of that?
Yeah, 1,000 choices that you have to make, right?
I respect that people are into different things, and that they want options, especially if they pay money, they deserve to have what they want. But like, decision paralysis is real.
Absolutely.
And like, I don't know how you are, but like, even with my like guitar, like I have no pedals. Like I don't like choices.
Mm-hmm.
Like the more sounds that I have, the less I'm thinking about like the notes,
right? Or
I'm listening to the drummer. Like removing choices is a good thing for artists.
Yeah, I'm like a two-tone kind of guy. You know, I've got like a clean and a dirty.
Yeah.
Maybe a little reverb.
Yeah, I mean if you're a creative person and you have lots of choices, you ultimately start doing the easier thing, which is let me mess with all my choices, as opposed to the harder thing, which is let me address the blank canvas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And then you spend 2 hours like turning knobs and tweaking EQs.
Right.
And also, how can I be creative? It's like a drum set with 1,000 drums versus a bass snare and hi-hat. How do I get the most out of this?
Get rid of all of it.
You know, and how do I can hit the cymbal a little different if I need, or I can open the hi-hat or whatever, you know, hit the rim, all these things that you wouldn't think to do
if you only have
1,000 drums.
You know all the sounds on that cymbal.
Yeah.
If you have 10 cymbals, each cymbal is one sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there, before I forget, not to change gears too much.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I wanted to ask you, man, I came across one of your videos where you were on stage with Umphrey's McGee.
Yes.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
how did that happen? What was
Are
that
you an
like?
Umphrey's fan?
I mean, so I was.
Yeah, he is.
I was a nothing but a fish head for about 15 years. So yes, I came across Umphrey's McGee like through that channel. I saw him a handful of times. I was never like, Umphrey's was at the top, but yeah, for sure, man. I mean, they're amazing.
They are, I mean, I would say like in that scene, they have to be like the most talented and diverse group of players.
The technicality of some of their shit is like off the charts.
Especially, and I know Chris isn't in the band anymore, but especially Chris back there on drums. You ever seen him cover Tool and sing, playing Danny Carey's parts and singing Maynard's parts?
Wow.
I don't think so.
That should be your next YouTube.
Wow, I'll check that out.
Yeah, because like we all have tons of respect for Umphrey's and the whole band and everything, but like I have never seen someone cover 46 and Tool on the drums and sing the part.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
All poly.
You're welcome. That's a good video.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out.
Okay. So same exact thing. Good people know good people, know good music, know more good music, know more good people that know more good music. You're not in a silo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just like people are stoked that you found their favorite band, those artists, and I've been very fortunate to have a lot of very different kind of artists from every tier you can imagine reach out to me. They are also the same music nerds as the rest of us. Mm-hmm. And when they see you break down, whether it's their stuff or something else that they really like, and they build like a level of trust or appreciation or whatever, or they learn something from you, like they also think it's cool as shit. Mm-hmm. And so the Umphrey's guys reached out to me after either the first or second video I did from them. And they, I don't know how to say this. There are a lot of bands that never invite guests on stage, right?
Yeah.
There are bands that don't want that their product is too delicate and they don't want someone to shit the bed. They also don't want to be shown up. They don't want to learn something new. For whatever reason, like they are not whatever. And there's no right or wrong with that. Umphrey's is one of those bands, that like they are notorious for having people come play with them at the drop of a hat, and it's like part of their culture.
That's cool.
Like they are that band.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can find a video of basically anybody who's great playing with Umphrey's.
Yeah.
Just search Billy Strings, Jimmy Herring, whomever, like everyone's satting with Huey Lewis, Umphrey's. You know what I mean? Like they love playing with other people, especially who are really, really good. And so they reached out to me, and I played with them twice, and both experiences were like bizarre and tremendous. Like I know I'm a good guitar player, but I always worry that like I'm in this shtick. I'm in this YouTube shtick. Like so much of this shit is fake. Like someone's going to invite you on stage. Like, how do they actually know you're not going to shit the bed?
Yeah.
You're like, I know I'm not going to shit the bed. How do they know that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did they know? Like, how can they tell from the video? Like, like everyone is full of shit out there. And like, but they were like, the first time it was during the pandemic, and they invited me when we played up in Frederick, when they had that like makeshift outdoor thing up there. They were, we were texting and they were like, yeah, bring your rig, and I brought my rig and I showed up, and they're like, well, what song do you want to do? And I was like, well, do you have a list or something? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, do you have ones you like to play with people? They're like, no. And so then I just went on YouTube and searched like some of their covers, and I was like, okay, they did Eminence Front. I was
That's
like,
right, yeah.
Yeah. Then I was like, okay. And I literally was like, how about Eminence Front? And they were like, oh man, we haven't played that in a while. And they were like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Right? And they were just like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And so then, I just listened to like we all do, listen to the song, made some quick notes, and went out there and played Eminence Front. And like the keyboard, like Joel, like he started the thing. It was kind of the wrong tempo. He adjusts it. You know what I mean? It locks in. No one knows when the hits are. and like got to share a couple leads with Jake, and it was amazing. And it was just like over, and it was just like sitting in with any cover band we've all sat in with, like identical. Like it was just effortless. And then the next time they invite me, which was really speaks to the nature of these guys as just players. Jake invited me when they were playing Pier 6 in Baltimore. And it was summertime. And I was just like, yes, awesome. Right? And same thing, no talk of the song, no talk of anything. It's like, bring your rig. I show up at Pier 6. Not only did he not tell anyone else in the band, but this is when Chris had torn his shoulder or whatever, and they had Dwayne Truck subbing on drums.
Wow.
And so they were learning,
dude,
during sound check, they were learning Umphrey songs for him.
Right.
So he didn't know the songs, right? And so they have a sub drummer who's tremendous, but these are Umphrey songs you're covering.
Yeah.
These are not just 4/4 watch me for the hits.
Crazy changes and stuff.
It's Prague. Come on, it's Prague.
Right.
And so we never even. I said, you guys just focus on your main show. Like, don't even worry about sound checking with me or whatever. I just put my amp off to the side, and all the people working were just like, yeah, whatever, it'll be fine. And so then we go backstage, and they're all still charting out all the stuff they're about to play, and I was just like, yeah, so he didn't tell you? And they're like, no, Jake didn't tell us shit. And it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And Jake's just like, let's just David Bowie and B flat. I said, okay. And that's all he said. And so then I went on YouTube and I was like, Umphrey's McGee, David Bowie. And I was like, okay, he means let's dance.
Yeah.
Right. And I listened to it and I had my, and I'm just like, okay, this is in fact B flat, this is it. And listen to it, go out, and then you'll love this story in particular. So this gig could have gone wrong for 1,000 different ways. So then they call me up, and it's like they're like morphing into it from like a previous song, and it's the end of a set, and I go on, and I have no sound on my guitar, no sound, right?
Because you never sound checked.
No, I never sound checked, but no, I line checked though.
Okay.
All I did was I plugged my pedals in, and I had my PRS MT15 amp, and I was playing. It was then a prototype of the PRS NF53, which they didn't want me to play, which is another funny story, because the pickup had like a whistle in it, but I loved it, and so I played it anyway. And then I had just like an overdrive and a clean boost, and that was it. And I line checked, just like, okay, here things were good. Like the sound guy will get the volume right.
Yeah.
And then they're playing the song. They've already started into it. They announced me, and I come up, and I flip. There's no sound, right? And you at the beginning of the video, like you see me on the ground, like messing with the amp, and like they're looking over at me. And eventually, I scratched all my pedals. I just switched it to the gain channel and plugged straight in, and walked to the front of the stage and ripped a lead, and then settled into the song.
Nice, dude.
And then we got through the song, and it was epic. And but like that's Umphrey's. Like they're that band. Like they like the spontaneity. They know how good they are, and they like pushing people, but they're also like a comfortable, like, we got you if you fall on your face. But like they kind of like that. Like they didn't want to tell me the song. They didn't want to, like,
kind of like that jam band feel too, It is prog, but it's also they do a lot of jam. Yeah,
and so like that is an Umphrey specific thing. I wouldn't expect that with a lot of other bands, but I've heard everyone I've shared the story with that knows them is like, yeah, that's them. Like they always invite people. It's always, what do you want to do? It's the same as any cover band we ever sat in forever. Nothing is different. They're just the best.
That's so cool, man.
That's awesome.
I bet that was two amazing experiences. Yeah, I came across that. I had, watched a bunch of your other videos, and I'm like, holy shit!
Watch the beginning of that video. You'll see me like rip everything out of the amp.
I'll check that out again. I think I don't think I saw the second one, the David Bowie.
I saw the David Bowie one.
Yeah, really? I saw the Eminence Front video.
Yeah.
I would have to check that other one out. It's on your channel as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just search Michael Palmisano, Umphrey's. The algorithm will do the rest.
That's cool, man. So, I mean, you've done, a whole shit ton of videos. You mentioned that you are, you grew up like listening to metal. Mm-hmm. It's probably an impossible question to answer, but like out of all the reaction stuff that you've seen and done videos on, what really sticks out in your mind? What were some of your favorite ones to watch and react to?
Do you know that no one's ever asked me this? That is so interesting.
Good job, Joe.
Thanks.
Yeah,
man.
good job. Yeah. My favorite ones. This all really began with me trying to understand what I saw with Mare and the Dead. And so those early videos where you see me as a lifelong metalhead who never understood that music because the rhythm was just not strict,
Mm-hmm.
And I could never wrap my head around like the drummers just like songs are in different times and sometimes they're 4 minutes, sometimes they're 12 minutes. Like I just couldn't, it's like this, not a rock and roll thing.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing me, like I'm thinking back, like watching me, how do I describe it? Become someone who became like enamored with chasing melodies, like in real time because of the Dead, and getting and understanding that the rhythm is only just like this one piece of it. And for my whole life, I've always been a key-centered player, and it wasn't until I got into that music where I started chasing chord tones and the focus on melody. Those will always probably be my favorite ones, just because I remember like watching like I remember like taking like doing the Morning Dew one and some of the others when like my aha moment as a guitar player is on tape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it like I spent my whole life growing up, like metal and funk were my things. Like I seen the two bands I've seen more than anything are like George Clinton and like fucking Ozzy, and like but the common thread was that it was the rhythm, right?
Yeah.
It was that unwavering canon of a kick drum and just like such a strict rhythm, like whether it's James Brown or whether it's the one drop like in reggae, like everything is in support of that. And so I never got the jam band scene because the rhythm was loose.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly just thought the drums were bad. Right. You know what I mean? Like, but then I began, to appreciate that a song can be slow one night and fast another night, and it can move around, and like the tempo can change within a song based on like how the singer's singing it. And it's about like the sum of the parts being greater than any one part. And it's about this other thing. And what I really got from John in particular, and, because he started this journey, but then I fell in love with Jerry, is that it's the melody that is the driving force. Mm-hmm. And that is connecting everything underneath of it, very a la Miles Davis, And I had never gotten that before. And so those videos will always be my favorites just because it completely changed how I view the guitar. I mean, I'm a chord tone soloist now for the most part. Beyond that,
there's one I'm hoping you're going to say because it's my favorite.
My favorite is probably, God, what is his name? Now I'm going to butcher it, but there's a video I did where it's like this song is like one of the greatest I've ever heard. Is like
Steven Wilson Jr.
No, but that was good. I can remember the lyrics to the song. The Jason Isbell ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's amazing.
When I first heard let's see, I had heard Vampires before, but the other what's
song.
what's the other one where it's like where he quit drinking. I can't think
You trying to think of the name of the album?
No, I'm trying to think of the name of the song. I'm drawing a huge blank. Everybody watching will know what the hell it is.
Yeah, it's about him being on the road. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That one got me really, 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 really hard. The other big one is Travis Meadows. Travis Meadows is probably my favorite. Actually, that's not true. I'll tell you, my favorite video is not a reaction. In the height of the pandemic, there was a video where a truck driver, who I still text with all the time, pulled his truck over. He was parked in a rest area or something. He wasn't driving. And he sent me this long email, and he was just like, my whole life I felt like I've had the song in me, and I've never been able to put music to it. And it's a very, very long personal email, which I won't share, but like he feels isolated. He feels alone. And the community, for some reason, he felt like this one made him feel safe, and it made him feel seen, and he wanted to share it with me. So he took out like an iPhone video of him singing, and it's a cappella, and it's not to anything. And I watched like 2 seconds of it, and I said, fuck it, I'm just turning the camera on. And so I watched it and put music to it on camera.
Wow, that's cool.
And then shared it with the community. And I think the video is called like A Trucker Sent Me a Video or something. Easily my favorite video I've ever done, though.
Wow.
Because again, it's all about the community and making people believe in each other and believe in themselves and the power of music to connect.
Probably the only video on the entire internet that's like that, the same content.
Mm-hmm. It's really magical.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's truly magical. And like you I mean, there's lots of them like that. Like you mentioned, there's, a member sent a video of his song. I mean, I love doing those. And a lot of actually, I'd say probably all the time, I do them without them knowing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, every day people send stuff.
That's cool.
And I miss almost everything. But
for them to log in and they go to your channel and you're reviewing their song.
Yeah, what usually happens is someone they know sends it to them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I forget to even email them.
Yeah, that's probably really exciting for them.
Yeah. It's a real joy and a pleasure to be able to do that for people and for myself. It makes me feel like great.
Hell yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sure it does.
Like I don't, and we've hinted at this a bunch, but like I don't ever look out into the YouTube or internet sphere and say, this is what's working, I'm going to do this. Like I'm on the hunt for those. Mm-hmm. Like I'm on the hunt for emotional moments that connect with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they happen at like minute 20 in a video. Something triggers you, whatever. Like that's the stuff I pay attention to. And I have found that like if I do that and I listen to people and I stay focused on those moments and the music and them, and I stay focused on the community, for me and my personality type and for why I do what I do, everything else kind of falls into place.
Yeah, man, it's such a cool idea, and how it's evolved into all these other things that you mentioned that you didn't really think about at first. But
yeah,
from my perspective, like I mentioned earlier, there's something cool about seeing someone else experience music that you have a connection to
in the same way.
In the same way, even if you are just watching a video, especially when it's like, hey, I've never heard this before. I've never seen this band before. I've heard people tell me about it and they say they're awesome, but this is my first time. Here we go. And you're just like, holy shit. And then you stop and you're talking about it. From the viewer standpoint who has listened, has an emotional connection with that music.
Yeah.
It's just something really cool about seeing someone else experience it.
It is. I mean, I think people want that validation of like, yeah, it is cool. I think it's cool, and you think it's cool too. But there's also this like thing that like when something means that much to you, you kind of want to share it.
Yeah,
you want other people to feel it. Like you want, like it's a blessing. Like you really. Like one of my favorite things to do, like even though I'm in the React genre, I love watching these black guys and girls watch like Black Sabbath stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I love it.
Those are cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I love like And when I do like Kendrick Lamar stuff, like, dude, like everyone knows, like I'm this totally pasty vanilla, like I'm like so like I have no idea what.
But that's
any
the power of music, right?
I don't know. Like I am so not familiar. I get so much love in those comments. Like I just people. I think people understand viscerally the power of music.
Yeah, it
like
crosses that.
Yeah, they really feel it and they love it, and like they really want everyone to like get along and enjoy the vibe. Like there's just I don't know, like in the music world, like there's just no hate out there, like in the traditional sense. Like in my genre, like in my what I do in my little sphere. I mean, it's one of those rare parts of the internet. There's zero negativity.
Yeah.
I mean, there's basically zero.
Have you ever been sent something that you were like, I just really don't like this? It seems like you can find something you like in all.
So that's another really good question. I get sent stuff all the time that I would, that I can appreciate and that I like, and that there's good teaching moments. But when I go in the car, I'm not going to put it on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't change the course of my day. But I can usually tell within the first 4 or 5 seconds, like it's usually right away. Certainly by the time the vocalist starts, what I'm going to be focusing on in the video. So I have a commitment to positivity and optimism.
Definitely can tell that.
And a commitment to teaching something, you know, even if it's just, or sharing something personal, but that I added something that is unique to me, that is clearly and substantially different than watching the video by itself, right? I have a commitment to that. But so sometimes it's the guitar playing, sometimes it's the bass playing, sometimes it's the keyboard, sometimes it's the drummer, sometimes it's arrangement, sometimes it's like the actual song and why it works for this crowd. Sometimes it's stage performance stuff.
Yeah, there's always
you know what I mean? Like, but it's always or the lyrics, obviously. You know, but I generally pick.
Okay.
And I know what I'm going to pick pretty early.
Do you ever do you have videos that you recorded and haven't uploaded?
No.
You just whatever you do is what it is. That's cool.
Get what you get. Flies or flops, you get what you get.
Cool.
For better or worse. Again, I know, because I have so many friends that are incredible YouTubers and influencers that are not even in the music genre, but a lot that are, who have told me many, many times, they were just like, if you spent half the time doing what you're doing on making better titles, thumbnails, editing, better lighting, making your 12-minute videos 6 minutes, whatever it is, like you would have 2 to 3 million subs. And I know that they're true. But I don't know, man. I'm pretty busy. I spend all my day talking to customers and playing music with my students. Like it's just true. I would love to get to a place where I could hire a boss to like be a CEO, and I could hire content people to just like do the edits and do whatever and enable me to live the same life. I would still spend all my day talking to the customers, responding to comments, hearing their stories, trying to respond thoughtfully, adding a part to their music. That's why it works.
Yeah.
But I hope that one day I choose to and am able to let someone else do all the business stuff, let someone else do all the video stuff, and like I already got someone that does all the tech stuff. Like I'm blessed for that.
Yeah.
But,
well, hey, if you need somebody to do all the video stuff, that's what I do for a living.
Is that true?
It is true.
Yeah.
That's your full-time thing?
That and music, yeah.
Yeah?
But primarily
well, your stuff looks and sounds great.
Thanks, man.
All right, maybe we'll do something.
Heck yeah.
Joe's your guy.
So I mentioned that I do have a favorite, and I will admit because
hit me.
The main reason is because it's just one of my favorite bands, but your reaction to it was also awesome. And you were talking about, before I tell you who it was, you were talking about how there's no
I'm
negativity.
biting my nails over here, Joe.
Right. Yeah, please. I'm trying to really draw this out. What happens with me sometimes with the music that I like is I'll play it for my son or my fiance or my, whoever. And they're like, this is fucking terrible. What's wrong with you? Why do you listen to this? This is so bad. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's awesome. Aren't you listening?
I do that with my kids. I was like, you get a song, I get a song. You get a song, I get a song.
Right.
And we both were like 25%. Like, this is garbage.
Yeah. My son's a pretty good sport. He won't tell me it's terrible unless I ask him.
How old is he?
11. But anyway,
It's right there.
one of my favorite bands is Bahamas.
Yes.
You did a reaction video to like literally one of my favorite performances by them of that.
Canadians are the best, man.
Dude, that guy is Afi Uverman or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He is so fucking awesome. And like
Hilarious.
and he's hilarious. His personality is so funny. But the song is so free.
Yeah.
And it's
he's one of my favorite ones I've discovered.
dude, that guy.
Definitely.
Yeah. Have you ever watched his YouTube, like his other YouTube? No, it's all on the same channel, but like he does these videos where it's like
His
him in
skits or whatever?
it's like him in a garage.
In the kitchen or, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like reviewing, that drumstick over there. And he's like, all right, this drumstick here.
Dude, he's hilarious.
This is Alabama Pine. And it's like, it's like just goofy as hell. And it's like, looks like it's recorded on a cell phone. It's so funny.
Yeah, no, yeah, Bahamas was a really good discovery.
Man, they are.
There's a lot from Canada that really, like Ariel Posen, like really stood out to me a lot. What's the huge guitar player? Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind here. It's come back to me. Killer slide player, plays Sir guitars, from Canada. Was in a huge band. Ian Thornley.
Oh, okay.
God, yeah. I found this great, ton of Canadian artists.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the way I remember seeing that video and I was like, oh shit, I love Bahamas. He's doing a reaction to this. You could have been acting, but you were like, dude, this is so good. Like they played like a cut, and it's so easy and quiet and in the pocket, and you were just like, I'm blown away by this, and I've only listened to like 5 seconds of it, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, you like it too." So it's like confirmation to me that the music that I like is actually
yeah. I mean, just so you know, so like the videos are certainly like a performance, but they're not acting.
Yeah,
and I don't know how to. No, but I want to like explain. Like I think that like you can't be on camera or anything that's supposed to keep people's attention, and not like you're aware of your cadence, like you're
right.
like you're aware you're performing. You're not just talking as if the camera's not there. But there's always something in the video I have found, if you're open to it, that will naturally excite you. Mm-hmm. And so the trick is just like find the thing that is naturally exciting, and that's the thing you're going to focus on in the video.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then because then you're not acting, because it's like, and there's always something. There's always something, and like I said, usually it's in the first 4 or 5 seconds I can tell, certainly by the time the vocalist starts.
Yeah.
The second you hear their voice and the whole band is in, and like the stage is the stage, like I've already known what keeps my attention, and like that's the thing I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
What about you? What I'm curious now, what is there a specific video that maybe you found first of mine that you, or any of them that you thought cool?
Watching you watch Steven Wilson Jr. was pretty good. Like, because
he's having a moment now, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing. But like I already mentioned, like the Bright Eyes, that, and Elliott Smith, probably Elliott Smith more than anything.
Elliott Smith was so heavy,
and it was weird because that video, the day before I saw that video, I told Joe this. I was driving with my kids, and I was like, man, I really want to listen to Between the Bars. I just like, for some reason, that song, and I haven't listened to that song in probably 10 years, and I put it on, and then like the next day I was scrolling through your stuff, and it was like, I watched, I think it was the Bright Eyes video. You said that someone recommended from the Elliott Smith video, they recommended Bright Eyes, or maybe it was the other way around. And then I was like, oh, I want to see the Elliott Smith video. So I watched it, and it was Between the Bars, which is an awesome song. And then you were like, that's it? We're going to do it again, because it's like a short song. He has a lot of stuff like that where it's
that's
like
how you know
short.
It's a good one.
Yeah, where you're like, you don't want it to end, and he has a lot of that.
We talked a bit before about like depth versus width, like on the channel, and how like I'm really on the hunt for depth instead of width. Elliott Smith is a perfect example of that. There are some videos that will get literally 1 million views and will get 400 or 500 comments, but more importantly, I'll get like 5 or 10 emails or DMs, and maybe like one person will sign up for Guitargate. But then there are videos like Elliott Smith, which I don't know how many views that video got. I'm gonna guess like maybe 100,000. But I probably got 1,000 emails.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
Because he means a lot to a lot of people. Yeah.
that's the depth,
Yeah.
right? That's the real thing. And probably, I don't even know, 2,000 comments but like 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20 people, some very substantial number, like actually messaged me,
Yeah.
like with a story about
Right,
how much
right.
it means to them.
Yeah.
So it's like that like I'm not surprised that you mentioned him, because like that one, Travis Meadows was another. There's a bunch like that. Jason Isbell. I mean, I can't tell you how many messages I got on Jason Isbell, but like those things, like that's the real stuff that I really love and pay attention to.
I also liked watching you react to that live Radiohead in the basement.
Yeah,
Like
it was that Fishes or whatever it was.
the first time I saw that,
was
like
crazy.
I mean, I'd heard that song 1,000 times, but when I saw them performing it, I was just like, this is so freaking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
and then watching you watch that was really, really cool. And when you like talking about like, we haven't heard the D or the D sharp yet.
Yeah.
Like I noticed that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so
of
it was
course.
like, that's cool.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
Radiohead again. Talk about depth. That band means a lot to those people. Radiohead is right up there with bands like Tool, right up like Grateful Dead, like these people are, I mean, it has become a focal point, if not changed their life. Like they are fucking into these bands.
Yeah.
And when you hit the bullseye on those, I mean, it just the onslaught of incoming messages and requests and just all of the things, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Like when you trip across the pulse, because it's all by accident.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I think your song. So I used to teach in a.
It happens a lot where we both start talking at the same time.
I used to teach in a private school, and a lot of what we would do we would sit and just listen to music. It was like they hired me to teach music class, and it was like, do whatever you want.
What grade?
It was like, well, I had a middle school class and a high school class, so it was like, it's like a school for like special. Everyone had like an ADHD or an autism or some kind of diagnosis, and so like my first thing I tried to do was like what I do with my students, which is like everyone's gonna get an instrument and we're gonna rock out and it's gonna be awesome. And like surprisingly, a lot of the kids were not into that. They were too self-conscious, So I was like, I only rein it in, and we did. So we started doing a lot of listening. So I'd let them pick a song and we'd talk about it. I had a little chart like, what instruments do you hear? What's the mood? What's, this kind of stuff. But like when I watch your videos, I'm like, I could just play these videos for these kids because you just like, you pick it up.
I don't have to do any of the
people tell me they do that.
Yeah.
Dude, you totally could. It's such.
People tell me they do that in music class. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Then I was like, well, I hope I don't curse. I generally don't curse in them, but sometimes I do.
Well, nowadays I don't think it's too big a deal, but
yeah, I mean, for me, it's always like, like here, like I live in a rural area, and no one that I converse with, it's just kids on the soccer field and lacrosse, all these different parents and stuff, but they all watch because I'm like the only one that they know that does anything like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm always thinking in the back of my head, like, I better not share that story. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
I've shared a couple. I've only shared like one or two that I've had to like take down where my wife was like, you can't talk about, all the girls you ran through in college. You can't
And there you just did it again.
yeah, like you can't, yeah, but there were details,
Yeah.
Only 20 people are going to watch this.
yeah, it's fine. But because the whole community's watching, but
Yeah, my wife has definitely
weird thing.
Called me out on a few things. She's like when I told us a couple
when you
stories
go back in our catalog, you'll hear Mike say some
yeah, she's like, you can't
all the questionable stuff.
do that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know.
right.
Mike was like, we did one video and I literally, edited the whole thing and posted it to YouTube, and then he watched it and he was like, hey, can you edit that part out where I was whatever it was you were saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's already on YouTube, dude. No, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that.
Random question, do you have software that will automatically cut to whoever's the talking head, or do you do every
No.
cut manually?
So we do every cut manually, which is a pain in the ass and takes forever. I do work with a video editor, but that gets expensive.
Yeah.
So what we've been doing lately is every other video. This one, Mike and I will be editing it together. You mentioned you use Premiere. I use DaVinci Resolve, which has like a cloud sharing thing. So we can both work on the same project. And
That's cool.
yeah, it is cool. And
It
if
has to go back and redo all my cuts.
no, you've been doing a pretty good job.
So it edits in the cloud.
Yeah. He has to. So I have to share all the files with him first so that
Sure.
he can connect them on his end. But
But
yeah,
all the timestamps and everything are all,
well, I'll go in and sync everything first, and get that timeline just right. And I'll start making some cuts, and then I'll say, hey, Mike, I'm not in the project right now. You can go in and do some stuff, work on it for an hour or whatever. So that's been working pretty good, but we need to get a better schedule, I think, so we can stay on top of it. But the editing of these podcasts, oh my God, it takes forever. It takes such a long time. Even so, with the video editor that I use, I have way too many control issues. So I want to do all the color grading and the titles and the final touches. So they literally only do the cuts from you to Mike to me to the main camera, and then they'll send me the project file back. So yeah, it's but it's cool. It's a fun thing. We're hoping to grow it. We're hoping that this one's gonna get like 100,000 views.
Yeah, we won't. But you guys do a great job, man.
Thanks,
Production
man.
and everything's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad Josh hooked us up.
Yeah, dude. I am too.
I've gotten to play a bunch of gigs with Josh. He's a legend.
He is a legend. Josh
He's a
is.
busy guy.
Funny fact: Josh's episode has the most views out of any of them.
Does it?
Any of our
Yeah.
videos, any of our shows so far.
Yeah.
Episodes is the word I was looking for.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I grew up with Josh around here, and it's cool to see him. Like, he's got his hands in all kinds of stuff. He's doing these storytelling shows and the murder mystery thing and the historic Kent Island stuff.
Yeah, I actually like the historic Kent Island stuff and all the him. It's always him walking in front of a forest. Or something.
In front of a forest.
And there's like
Forest out.
real jittery cuts.
Yeah.
Goes through his sentence.
No, he was always one of my favorite people to play with. His vibe was always right.
Yeah, dude, he did. I did a video for him where he played with Candlebox over here at Cult Classic, and that was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of those videos where he
No,
was-
but I believe it.
yeah,
I mean, I've always told him, I was just like, dude, if you ever, I don't know how serious it's ever going to get, but my answer will always be yes with you if you want to, fire a couple shots across the bow. Like I'll come.
Yeah,
out,
man.
I'll come out of my dormancy.
He's got a great stage presence.
Yeah.
he does.
It's the vibe, man. It's the rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah. One of the videos that was my favorite was it was his song "Break Me."
I love that
And,
song.
dude, I had a camera on a tripod on the stage, and
You sure that's not how we know each other?
through Josh,
Yeah,
I don't.
like filming a show or something.
I don't know. I
You said we
don't
felt
think
like
so.
we recognized.
Yeah.
I feel like I've met you a long time ago. That's how
Yeah.
how it seems to me. But Yeah, I
like
don't know.
travel soccer back in the day or something.
Maybe that could be. Yeah, I played a little travel soccer on UA Blaze back in the day. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time.
How old are you?
42.
I'm 43. So that could be. Yeah, it could be a sports related thing.
So speaking of that, or sorry,
I just wanted to say, like, that camera was on a tripod on the stage, and normally it's such a bummer when the vibration of the stage vibrates the camera, you know, because you're like, I screwed that up. But it was perfect because it just like,
It was bouncing.
it was so heavy when they came in, and that camera was like vibrating along with it.
cool.
It just, it matched perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a high energy
Josh, let's
show.
play music again.
There you go.
Nice.
Come on the show again, Josh. What the heck, man? It's been a while.
I'd love to see him.
Yeah.
So do you have any? Music is obviously a hobby, but it's your profession. Do you have any things? Do you like to knit? Do you like to swim? Do you like to? Is there something you do to blow off steam? Hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never
love
know.
these-
It's a
I
very
love these
interesting
questions. No one's
question,
asked me
Mike.
any of these questions there, but I also never really do anything like this.
What's your favorite color yarn to crochet with?
No, I have 4 kids. I have found my way into crafting an incredibly busy existence, and I really don't do anything except work and do the family thing to a fault. With that being said, the one thing that I splurge on every year, with the kids and everything is we're skiers. We go skiing out west, generally. We go somewhere different every year, but that's like my other favorite thing in the world. Like if I didn't find a way in music, I'd live in the mountains somewhere and be a ski bum or something.
Cool.
But no, I don't know how to blow off steam. I stopped drinking a couple years ago, so I can't get hammered
I
anymore.
wanted to ask you about that too. So yeah.
That could be how we know each other. Maybe.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Not through drinking, through the non-drinking community, possibly.
Well, I don't go to anything.
Okay, well then never mind.
Yeah. So do neither of you drink?
Neither one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about that if you want.
I was just curious. I was going to ask you, like, so being a musician, coming up, especially, like, something I struggled with was like a relationship with drugs and alcohol. A, to write, B, just the people I was hanging around, other musicians, and if that's something that you struggled with, and and I didn't know that you didn't drink, but like, it seems like maybe you don't, and or now you're saying you don't, but
I don't.
What was that like for you? Was that a struggle, or has that ever been a struggle?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like I started at rock bottom, and every day's been better since the day I started. I mean, I wouldn't call it much of a relationship with alcohol instead of like a terrible relationship, but like, I don't know. I think a lot of us, like, we're creative people, like, you can't turn the brain off, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, there's no escape. Like, I mean, maybe it's undiagnosed or misdiagnosed, ADHD or manic depressive, or I don't even think you need a name for it, but it's just like, I don't really chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? I don't watch TV. Like I'm not just sitting around. Like I'm either like whatever I'm doing, it's all the things that I'm doing. And like I used alcohol. It started with partying and everything when I was young and drugs or whatever, but I used it to make it tomorrow. Like hard reset. I was not I don't know, like, I wouldn't even drink every day, like, but when I would, it was all of it, like a binge drinker. And like I just like sometimes I just, wanted to check out, and a lot of times, I didn't mean to check out, but I would. And so for all of my teens and all of my 20s, I had a very tumultuous relationship with alcohol. Like I said, like, I mean, a week could go by and I wouldn't have a drop, but then there'd be, a 4 days blackout in a row bender, what I mean? Which took me 2 weeks to recover from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you never know when it was coming or not coming. It was just, I mean, you guys know.
Yeah.
And it was just not that thing. And then when I was probably 32 or 33-ish, I started doing the dry January thing just to like make sure that I could stop if I wanted to, because my kids were starting to get older, starting to pay attention. They had, seen me passed out on the floor a couple times. And like, there are a couple things where like, I was like, as a father, I cannot be getting blackout hammered like this, And so I started doing the dry January thing just to make sure that I could stop. And a strange thing happened. I started taking a month off, and then each year it got longer. It got to like 6 weeks, and then it got to like 8 weeks. And eventually it was like a couple months. And then when I would start again, I would get more hammered quicker, and I would like it less.
Yeah.
And by year 6 or 7 of this, when I was, approaching 40, I was taking, whole seasons off drinking, like all of winter or all of summer or whatever, but 3 to 4 months at a clip. And then when I would start again, like I would take a sip and I'd just be like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this, but you go out with people and you have another one. And then before you know it, you're getting hammered again. And then, before you know it, you stop again, whatever. By the year 9 or 10 of that, so I'm probably 40 at this point, maybe 39, I was going 6 months, and I would take a sip when I would start again, and it tasted like metal. The desire was gone.
Yeah.
So even that was a very organic process for you.
Yeah, like the desire. I mean, literally, I tried to remain a drinker, is the way that I would put it.
That's pretty.
And I kept
story.
going back to it, and over a decade I read an article somewhere. Maybe you guys have some anecdote about this, but I read an article somewhere that resonated with me deeply after I stopped drinking, where there's a study out there that there's a direct correlation between the ability to quit, like the waning of desire, with the amount of times you've attempted to quit. Like there's actually a thing there.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so it took me a decade, but eventually I got to a place where, and I never thought I would get to, where like the desire is just gone. Like I would take a sip, I'd even open a second drink, and I'd be like, I'm doing this to make you comfortable. I'm doing this to make you comfortable. I'm doing this because like this is what people do in these social settings.
Right. Yeah.
But like there is no enjoyment. I actually hate this, and I've hated it for so many years, and now I hate myself for like continuing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still lived in that place for another 2 years. Where like 6 months off, I would start drinking again, but then after like a month or two, you find yourself getting hammered again. And eventually it was like Mother's Day 2 years ago. So I guess it'll be coming up on 3 years now that it's 2026. I had taken like the whole winter off or whatever. And I was like, we were out of the thing, and I had a drink, and I took like one, it just like tasted like metal, like ash in my mouth. And I just put it down, and I was just like,
that was it.
That's it.
Wow.
You don't hear stories like that too much. To me, it sounds like your ability to like take those chunks off early on, like the dry January, like your ability to actually do that at that time probably really helped you in the long run.
It really did. It really took 10 years.
Yeah.
It really did. And it was a weird thing because like, my father-in-law, my wife's dad is, one of those AA guys that keeps the thing in his chip in his pocket. It's like 30 years or whatever. And he's always trying to get me to go to this and go to that. And I tried to explain it to him, but I was just like, I'm not saying what's right or wrong for you.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Is whatever. But like, I see someone who hasn't drank in 30 years and alcohol is still controlling their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you go to this thing every day. And I understand that you go for other people now.
Yeah.
You don't go for yourself, and that's the reason. But like, I don't want this thing in my life.
Right.
I don't want to think about it ever again. And I don't care if you have a drink. Like, we can go out to a bar tomorrow. I'll stay for 2 hours, not 6,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Right.
Right. But like, I'm like, I don't want it at all. Like, I'm over it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome, man. I mean,
So
yeah.
So I don't know. So it's a funny.
A lot of
funny
alcoholics
thing.
and addicts would kill to have that. I mean, that's one of the main reasons you go to meetings, is to have that desire removed, you know?
Well, see, that's the thing I never really understood, and it is like.
But it's just about time, I think, from my perspective. You know, eventually, whether you do it in a meeting with a group or you do it on your own, maybe not always, but I think a lot of times that desire is removed. And then, like you said, if you end up doing it again, I don't know if it's common, but it does make sense to me that, like, yeah, I'm not really.
I think there's
isn't doing it for me anymore.
I don't know. Maybe it's a personality type, and maybe it's like, I don't know. People process things different ways, but like, I always felt like, the whole alcoholic thing, that I would hear from my father-in-law and so many friends in recovery, and like, look, I've gotten locked up before. I've had to go to rehab. Like, I know what those meetings are. Like, I feel like the whole basic vibe is like, everybody else is having fun, but you can't.
Yeah.
You know, like you're giving up like a genuine pleasure that other people can enjoy, and that there's something different about you that is not with them. And I always felt that was complete horseshit. Like, I was like, I am not giving up. Like, I don't want to do what you're doing. Like, I actually don't.
Right.
You know, and you don't like it either, and you don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough thing.
But again, I can't project myself on other people, but that is how I've always felt. Like, I've always felt like my father-in-law, he would want to talk for hours about it, and I was just like, I don't want it to take 3 hours of my day up.
Yeah,
like, I don't want
right.
it. Like, I don't want to talk about booze. Like, it's still like, you are a dry drunk. Like, you've been sober for 30 years, and that's what we want to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah. I've always viewed it as like a spectrum, right? And there's
yes, of course.
There's an alcoholic addict line, and some people are way over that line. Like, having that perspective that you were just describing, I am different. I am allergic to this thing.
Tell me about
cannot partake. There are plenty of people that need that perspective in order to not continue to use or drink. And this is all just my opinion, that there are people
curious.
that are, here's the line. There are people that are like right here, where they're like, okay, I can kind of see that there's positivities in these meetings and groups, but I don't think I need it. I don't think I need to join that and live that for the rest of my life in order to not do this thing anymore. I don't know. That's kind of how I
also think people really crave the community.
Well, sure.
And there's that aspect. And I think that you have to, for a lot of people, you have to replace it with something, which is why religion is such a big piece of it. Same way it's such a big piece in jail and all that. But what you said reminds me of that video I saw of Steve-O post at one time, where he's just like, I was fortunate that I was a raging alcoholic and I was forced to quit, because the worst thing to be is like a borderline alcoholic where you're just blowing it and life is slipping through your hands, but it never gets bad enough that you change your life. And I was that guy.
Yeah.
I was that guy where it was like, and I had plenty of episodes in front of family and plenty of things I regret and had legal problems and there's no shortage of wake behind me in that, but it was never like, I don't. I always felt like I was doing it like to escape growing up, to escape my own mind, to self-sabotage. Like I always felt like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I never felt like it was this other thing that I have no control over. Like I used to always look in the mirror and be able, I was like, you're a fucking idiot. And you know it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people have that perspective, even the ones that are like still, powerless, and I think a lot.
See, but that's the thing. And again, this podcast has taken such a tangent.
Yeah, it's all good.
No.
As long as it's cool with you.
No, it's fine. It's fine with me. What's funny is like, I've never really gotten a chance to talk about this.
Yeah.
I never talk about this stuff. Is like that whole powerlessness thing. I really don't understand.
Yeah, I've always struggled with that too, because it's like if you're powerless, then you're never gonna, like, you have to, admitting you're powerless is somehow like taking the power back, but it's like it's ultimately you're making a decision,
Yeah.
and you're taking control over this situation. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and the idea that you're powerless is kind of like, it seems debilitating to embrace that.
Well, especially if you're like in a community and you're in a circle or whatever, and like that's the thing you all tell each other.
Right.
Like that seems the opposite of recovery to me.
Yeah, totally.
If I may.
I mean, 'cause Joe's got a lot more experience. Like, I've never done a program or anything either. I've been to like AA meetings, same thing, like mandated.
Mandated. Yes, mandated.
But I've never like voluntarily gone.
Yes, mandated.
And so I mean, but Joe has a lot more experience with the like.
Yeah,
academic.
I
whatever.
was a member of Narcotics Anonymous for quite a long time, and
So it wasn't just drinking.
really, no, it was mainly. I mean, I drank a lot too, but it was mainly like dope and other substances.
Yeah, see, that's a realm I have not.
So, but the kind of response I wanted to say here is like the concept, at least from my understanding about powerlessness, is like, okay, so they also use the term I was using against my own will, meaning like I don't want to keep doing this, but I continue to do it anyway. There's this compulsion to continue.
Certainly
to
compulsion.
do it. So at that point is when, people in a anonymous group will tell you, you were experiencing powerlessness, right? You're trying to not do this thing, but it's not the substance that you're powerless over. It's the addiction that you're powerless over, right? I'm trying to fight head on against this addiction by myself, and it's not working. I'm continuing to go back to it.
So by yourself, you're powerless?
By yourself, you're powerless, right? So it's not that you're giving up, which, I mean, I understand like how people can view it that way. You're just giving up, right? But the concept is you're admitting powerlessness over fighting this addiction head on by yourself. So I'm going to accept help from others. That's basically what that concept is.
I understand that. I would, from my own perspective, I would put it differently. I always knew that I was running from myself. I always knew that the drug or the drink or whatever was just the vehicle to sabotage my life, to delay being a man and being responsible, being a father, for doing all the things that I knew I should be doing.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't powerless over a substance. I knew I was being a coward and a pussy.
Yeah,
and that is a very different thing.
Sure, yeah.
And to me, like I knew, like I knew I was doing the easier thing, which was to fuck my life up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew it.
Then be
every
responsible
stage. Then be responsible. I knew I was making that choice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I totally agree with you, and I think that's where, in my own mind, I view it as this spectrum, and that line I just described as addiction may be a better description is that's the powerlessness line. And it like just listening to the short period of time where you were just telling us about your story.
Yeah.
It's like it sounds to me like you came close to being powerless, but you were like, nope, I'm going to stop for January. And so before you became powerless over it, you exerted your power over it and stopped for a period of time.
That's
and
probably accurate.
And when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, you didn't quite cross that line. You got close to it.
I felt like it.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the moment, you definitely.
I mean, I definitely. But what you say makes sense. I mean, I definitely, obviously recognized that this can't continue.
Yeah.
And
you caught it before it.
And yeah, but it was definitely out of hand for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's different for everyone. And yeah, I think like a lot of things, if it goes on for decades, like I have a brother who's a heroin addict, and he's 35 or 34, and he's been in and out of jail or rehab since he was 18 years old. And like having this conversation with him would be, I mean, it's just like when you've been that person for the most of your life, longer than you were a child before then, something in you's different, like there's this chemical thing that changes or whatever. And it seems like that other person, maybe it's not that they're not in there, but that other, they're the quietest voice in the very back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where I felt that voice beginning to fade.
Right.
And I had a moment, and it took a decade, but I had a moment where I was just like, at every other point of your life when you've gotten to this juncture, you've chosen the easier choice, and it's not to listen to that little voice that you're supposed to listen to. But this fucking time you're going to.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
And so that so I believe you that like if that voice does get quiet enough after so many years, maybe it does lose its ability to be heard.
Yeah.
And that person gets lost. Because I have it. I've seen it.
And then
I felt it.
You've experienced it.
Yeah.
Speak into them.
But I definitely, I don't know. It was definitely going to take me down. And I knew if I didn't stop, it would take one of my kids with me.
Yeah.
That's the other big one.
I mean, good for you and congratulations, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate it. It's funny, man. You guys ask me a bunch of stuff I never talk about.
We were talking about crocheting and knitting right before this, It's amazing.
Yeah. But see, you got into it then. I love it. This
awesome.
is great.
Well, hey, dude, I mean, I know Mike could too, but I could sit here and talk to you for another 2 hours. But this is the longest episode we've ever had, so I think we're probably about to run out of film here.
Okay.
Soon, so, but dude, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah,
and it's really good to meet you both.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are great.
Man.
It's awesome.
Real quick, I mean, I'm sure probably most people know you much more than they know us, but like for the rare person who knows us and doesn't know you, where you want to plug your stuff?
Sure. If you just search Michael Palmisano, Palmisano, or Guitargate, Guitargate, anywhere on the internet, the algorithm will do the rest.
Heck yeah, man. And watch his YouTube channel because it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So the YouTube channel is where you see all the videos we were talking about. And if the talks about joining a community where you play music and learn music and find musical partners and friends is something that interests you, you can go to Guitargate.
Heck yeah. I'm sure you'll probably have at least 2 new subscribers.
Stop underselling us, Joe.
I'm talking about you and me, Mike, of Guitargate. We'll probably both join Guitargate.
Oh.
I'll hook you guys.
And then you won't ever have to look at me again. You can just send me things.
We'll just do this.
I'll hook you guys up. It'd be great to have you.
I'd appreciate it, man.
Heck yeah,
Sure. I wish I had 2 pedals to give you. I literally am waiting for a next batch. This global fulfillment disaster is a true disaster.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's obviously doing well. You've sold 1,750 of them.
Yeah, but I can't get any more parts. That's the problem. I can. It's just I know the podcast is over, but like the lead time went from like 6 weeks to like 20 weeks.
Yeah.
And like the minimum order volume went from hundreds to thousands. And it's just, if it takes 90 components and you have 89, you can't make that thing.
Damn, that is.
We're at economic war with the world, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about all that next time.
And people don't understand that when there's these tariffs it's not other countries that pay them. Like, I pay them.
Yeah,
I
we
pay
all do.
him.
Yep.
Like, but I mean, like, when I go to make the pedals, like, I need the parts that come from overseas.
Oh yeah.
I write a check to the U.S. government on the day they cross the border. I do.
Oh, okay.
I pay them.
Yeah.
So like if my screens, and I know none of this is going to be on the video, but like if I pay $20 for a screen, right, from China, and I buy 1,000 screens, so it's 20 grand or whatever. It's not like the tariffs made the Chinese company start charging $25 a screen. I still pay the Chinese company $20 a screen.
You're paying the tariff to the
And then when those screens come over and there's a 50% tariff, I have to write a $10,000 check to the U.S. government to get my screens I already paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I don't think people understand that that's how it works.
I honestly never thought about it like that, but I mean that makes perfect sense.
That's how it works.
You're not paying it to the manufacturer; you're paying it to the.
So all of this is we are paying for all of. There's no money coming from another country into our country because of these tariffs. It's all our own people.
It's all our own money. Yeah.
Going to other people in our own country.
Yeah. That's infuriating.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's end on an infuriating note. Thanks, man. See you guys next time.